Well, good evening. Going to have a lot of wrestling tonight here on 1010 KSIR. That's going to be awesome. And that's here at the Eastern Plains Sports Network. So, Travis Lefevre, and
Afternoon, Rob. How are you?
I'm not sure. We're about trying to get ready.
Yeah, it's a little discombobulated here at the old Beat Cellar this morning or this evening. They don't have track wrestling up, and they don't have the big board up, so we're not entirely sure who's wrestling. But it is Eaton and Rez up first. The next duel will be Eaton and Brush, and the last duel will be Brush and Rez. So should be some great wrestling. Eaton and Rez are both ranked in the top 10. Eaton coming in at number 4 this week, and Rez coming in at number 8. Brush is still out of the rankings in this latest match, or this latest round of rankings, but, I think Coach Cox would be just fine with that.
Okay, Rez got the pin. But let's go down to 175. We don't have one listed for Eaton. How about that?
Yeah, I think in these, it might be.
90-pound weight class. From Resurrection Christian, Ethan Carter. And from Eaton, Cal Sidwell.
That is not Cal Sidwell.
Cal Sidwell's 190.
They announced 190, but I think these are JV matches. Yeah, we definitely got some JV matches first. They're not. I don't think that last match was varsity either.
Okay.
So I think Paul's getting a little confused on the PA system here, which is going to make it real tough to know what wrestlers are on the mat for these other teams. So
Well, we had a great match last night.
yeah, gosh darn, that was such a good match last night with Ray and Brush. Came down to the last match. Austin Lay had to get the pin, and he did get the pin over another ranked opponent, and Brush and Ray split that duel evenly, 37-37. But the marquee match of the night, and I called it wrong, so I apologize to everybody listening. Was Austin Collins and Nick Dardanis. Both those kids are some of the better kids in the state, and honestly, probably some of the better kids in the region. Both have D1 prospects. Looking at them, just a great job by both teams making that match happen. And with Nick ended up on top. I think the final score was 9-6. But just a great match for both those guys, and a great match for Nick. Kind of solidify himself as the top 144 pounder in the state.
Yeah, it was an amazing night, all through the whole night.
Yeah. Like I said, anytime you get to go to Ray and watch wrestling, it's kind of the mecca of Colorado wrestling. They have so many state titles, and I don't think it's even close still. Even with Pomona making their runs, winning 9 in a row or whatever it's been the last couple of years. Ray's won so many titles in every decade since the 50s. It's neat going back there, getting to see that history.
But this is quite a beat pile, isn't it?
Yeah, I tell you what, every time you go to another school, and then you come back home to what they call the Beat Cellar here, it shows you how blessed we are. Brush passed that bond program here a handful of years ago, and just built a first class facility here in Brush. This place holds, I think it's something to the tune of 1,400, 1,500 people. And the intent was to host like regionals and some other state type things for some of the smaller schools. And they've done some of that, but it's just such a nice state of the art facility here.
Yeah, it's great. I guess we got a beat pile on one side, and we got a beat cellar on the other end.
Yeah, the beat piles where the student section is. Not a lot of students here yet today, but and then so that's the beat piles is where the students sit, and the beat cellar is what the whole facility is called. And Leroy Needham's court.
Oh, really?
So yep, they dedicated the court to Coach Needham's here a couple years ago. So great honor for everybody.
And let's see, Resurrection is they got a lot of kids.
Yeah,
A bunch of them.
Yeah, like I said, we can run through the rankings here. Like I said, Eaton's ranked 4th in the state right now in the rankings that came out this morning. going through this, at 113s, they got Blake Hawkins, number 1 ranked wrestler in the state for Eaton. Coming back down through, Eaton, Ethan Deals, number 5 at 138. Paxton Pettinger from Eaton is 5th at 157. And Cal Sidwell is first at 190. And Cal's, I think, he's a returning finalist. He might be a returning state champ. I don't recall. I know he's a finalist. And coming through for Res Christian, they have at 126, number 11th ranked wrestler, Max Lozano. At 138, they got Kaid Slinkard. I'm probably butchering that name. I apologize. Number 7 for Res Christian at 138. At 144, they got Carter Gillespie, ranked number 8 at 144. At 150, they got Joe Locke, ranked number 10 for Res at 150. Coming back down through here, at 165, they got Josh Stockton, ranked number 13 for Res. At 175, looks like we got Decker Nicholson, ranked number 8 for Res. At 190 is Ethan Carter, ranked number 11 for Res. And then their 2 big boys, Isaiah Johnson and Samuel Stockton, are both ranked number 1 at 215 and 285. So got a heck of a lineup for both these teams. And obviously with Eaton, they got the pedigree, winning all those state titles here, in the last couple of years. They're always a top 2, top 3 team year in, year out.
Yeah, I was just looking at 190 last year. Sidwell was third.
Oh, he was
in
third. I
state.
thought he was in the finals. I
Yeah,
apologize.
He was in thirds.
And I think, excuse me, at 113s with Blake Hawkins. Actually, he was wrestling 106, and he was a runner-up at 106s last year. So he's ranked number 1 this year at 113s.
And then Pettiger should be in there too somewhere.
Yep, Pettinger.
106.
Pettinger is.
Was it 138?
Yeah, I think he's at 1. Yeah, he's number 5 at 157.
157. Grew up too.
That'll happen sometimes.
We got him. And we also got some different things. We got Cougars / Reds. I'm not quite sure. I think the Reds is still with Eaton. I don't know how they got away with that.
Yeah, they didn't. They ended up not having to change their name, so good for them. Again, another school that just built a brand new facility. So beautiful facilities up in Eaton as well. So the Patriot League, or what used to be the Patriot League, is still dominant. In pretty much all sports, and wrestling included. With Valley being ranked number 3, Eaton being ranked number 4, Fort Lupton's ranked number 5, Res is ranked number 8, University is ranked number 9. Like I said, I'm surprised Brush isn't ranked, because in these new rankings, they finally got Ritchie and Austin separated. So going through the rankings this week for Brush, at 106, you got number 15, Ian Blake. At 132, you got number 9, Elias Barraza. At 138, Axton Haswell's ranked number 8 right now. That should be a really good weight tonight, because you got Ethan Deal from Eaton ranked number 5, Kaid Slinkard from Res ranked number 7, and Axton Haswell ranked number 8. So a bunch of kids right there who are right on the cusp, or who Tim Yount thinks are on the cusp of placing. So that should be a fun weight to watch. Tonight. Obviously at 144, we got Nick Dardanis ranked number 1. He'll have Carter Gillespie, who's ranked number 8. Levi Cox at 150 is ranked number 9. And the kid from Res, Joe Locke's ranked 10. At 165, they got Austin Lay ranked 3rd right now, behind Parker Burr from Centauri and Isaac Valencia from Rifle. Richie Bruno, another returning state champ, is ranked 2nd, behind Isaac Chavez from Mullen, who I believe is going for his 3rd state title. He's a great kid, and be excited to watch that finals match happen. At 190, we have Christian Astorga is actually ranked 2nd at 190. So Again, tonight at 190, we got Cal Sidwell ranked number 1, Chris Astorga ranked number 2, and Ethan Carter from Rez ranked number 11. So 3 ranked wrestlers at 190. So just a plethora of kids ranked, and it's going to be just a great night of wrestling, I think. So I think we're finally getting going here.
Okay.
So we've got Decker Christensen, Nicholson, and Cooper. Excuse me, the name's not on the list here.
Did you find Decker?
Yeah.
What weight was that?
You got Cooper Morgan, 175 from Eaton, and Decker Nicholson at 175 from Rez. So a couple of ranked wrestlers right here going at it right away. So Decker Nicholson's ranked number 8 from Rez.
You got a better piece of paper than I have. Cal Sidwell's down there.
Yep, Cal
190.
Sid will be next, and that'll be another couple ranked kids here. So, yep, Nicholson gets that first takedown, so it's 3-0 Nicholson with 1:20 left, and now he's working a half, working back points, and that's real tight. He's got that far wrist in half, and he's settling in. He's got lots of time, and there's the fall. There's the fall right there in 46 seconds for Decker Nicholson for Resurrection Christian. So good start for Rez.
Looks like we're starting at a
175.
175, yeah.
Let's see if I can hear Paul here.
Except this one says that he's 190.
Yep, so we got Ethan Carter, ranked number 11 from Rez, and we got Cal Sidwell, ranked number 1 in the state from from Eaton. Oh, and it looks like Ethan Carter is not gonna come out. So Sidwell's gonna take the forfeit here. All right, let's see who they announced at 215. Should be Isaiah Johnson from Rez, and that is a big, good-looking kid right there. He's ranked number 1 in the state for Rez. He's going to take a forfeit from Eaton. So this should be a fairly quick duel if it's just a oh, excuse me. They're going to pop somebody out there from Eaton. He was not on the weigh-in list. Trevin Felix looks like he's 184 pounds. So you got the number one ranked kid in the state, Isaiah Johnson from Rez, and Trevin Felix from Eaton, going at it here in this first duel here. Yeah, you can tell there's a weight difference. That kid from Rez does a good job. He's a big kid. Does a good job of snapping the Eaton wrestler down, really controlling the wrist, rolling both wrists under. Checking the oil. We call that checking the oil when you kind of grab the butt and push him forward and break him down. Now he's doing a good job of putting that right leg, blocking the right arm with his right knee. Got that bar in, breaking him down flat to the mat. Now he's got that bar and that far wrist. And let's see if he tries to tilt him. Yep, he's going to tilt him back over the top. He gets him loaded up, and he's getting some back points here. So we got the 5 count. So he's got 4 points right now. We got a 4-point near fall, and then we got a potentially dangerous. I didn't see what the potentially dangerous was, but nonetheless, it's a 7-0. Isaiah Johnson, 55 seconds left to go in the first, and he's going to optional start the Eaton wrestler here. So he does optional start him and lets him away. So Trevin Felix gets a point, gets let up. Ian Johnson just with a lot of movement, a lot of fake shots. He's doing a good job for a big guy. He really moves well. Fake shots, and there's a fake and stay. So he's going to fake, and then when his opponent comes back up, he's going to stay, and he's going to shoot that double, and he does shoot that double for a takedown. He's got that bar on the left side, far wrist, and now he's running around, and Felix is going to be in big trouble here. Big trouble. He's got the 5 count already, and Isaiah Johnson is working for the fall here, and he does get the fall. So minute 43 into the first period, Isaiah Johnson gets the fall over Trevin Felix from Eaton.
215 down weight class. From Resurrection Christian, Isaiah Johnson. And from Eaton, Trevin Felix.
The scoreboard isn't working either for the teams.
No, it's not working for the teams, and Paul just announced the wrong match, and so we're going to have Samuel Stockton from Rez Christian, who's the #1 ranked heavyweight, and we're going to have Gerardo Quintana from Eaton. Boy, and Stockton, another big-looking kid, working the double unders, and he hits that little slide by with some double unders right to a 3-point takedown. Now it looks like he's working a bar on the back of Gerardo there. Yep, got that bar in, got the near wrist. Gerardo is a big boy though, 270 pounds weighing in. But Stockton's doing a good job. Got that bar over. He's got that far wrist, and Gerardo's in big trouble here. And there's the fall. Fall in 32 seconds for Samuel Stockton and Rez Christian.
Wow. Big pin there.
Yeah, I'm not
For
sure
the
what
Cougars?
not sure what the team score is, but I would think that Rez is pulling away right this second.
And Rez has got white singlets, little black trim. And of course, there's always red with the Reds
And from Eaton, Danny Biggers.
from Eaton.
Okay, so from Eaton we got Danny Biggers, and from Rez Christian we got Winston Schumacher at 106 pounds here. And Biggers in on a double leg. Schumacher does a pretty good job of sprawling here, and they go out of bounds back to the neutral position. 12 seconds ticked off the clock here in the first period, so 1:48 left to go in the match. And we're neutral back to the center, and we're underway again. Both wrestlers just kind of head tying. Now Biggers, Eaton wrestler, shoots a single leg. Rez does a pretty good job of fighting that off and getting a sprawl in there on the edge of the mat, and they come back to center. Both wrestlers just kind of still feeling each other out. A little snap by the Rez wrestler, trying to get head control, trying to get hand control. Now the Eaton wrestler comes up with the shot, and the Rez wrestler does a good job sprawling, has a quarter Nelson on him. He spins around and gets behind him for the 3 points after he got a stalling warning as well. So Rez wrestler gets a stall warning, ends up getting the takedown. So it's 3-0, a minute left in the first period. Now Schumacher's got the Eaton wrestler, Biggers, broken down. He's trying to work a power half, kind of rolling those wrists under, just kind of staying hip to hip, riding right now. Unfortunately, in high school wrestling, you don't get benefit for ride time, so he's got to be careful staying hip to hip and just not working a pinning combination because he actually already has a stall warning on him.
We are at 106 pounds here in the first match.
Yep, got short time here. The Rez wrestler is still working. He's doing a pretty good job. Spiral and a half. We got short time. 5 seconds left to go in the first period, and I think that's where we're gonna wind up. Here is 3-0. Rez Christian's Winston Schumacher over Danny Biggers from Eaton. Biggers' choice defers over to Rez, and Rez is going to choose down to start the second period.
Up by only 3. Huh?
Yep, 3-0. Start the second period here. Eaton wrestler loads from the left side, jumps across to the right as the Rez wrestler hits a switch and then a stand-up. Eaton wrestler's trying to elevate and drops down to a single, drops down to a double, and they go out of bounds.
They look pretty tall for
Yeah, he's
106.
a tall 106. Again, Eaton loads from the left side, switches to the right. Got locked hands. If Rez can break this lock, he's got a chance to get more than 1 point because we got a locked hands violation, and he's got the Eaton kid in trouble. He's got a sprawl on the edge of the mat there. Got a point of contact in still. He's going to get an escape, so he's going to get a technical violation for locked hands for 1 and an escape for 1. So it's going to be 5-0 Rez over Eaton. About 1:30 left in the second period here. And the Eaton wrestler shoots, and they're on the edge of the mat, and they go off the mat here. Okay, we're going to come back. We're both neutral still. 1:18 left to go in the second period, and we're underway again. Eaton Wrestler keeps shooting him, but the Biggers keeps shooting, but the Reds Wrestler has nice defense, so he's got to be careful here because he's already been called for stalling once. Now he's working that front quarter, and he gets that Milkovich, and he spins him around again and gets that 3-point takedown. So it's going to be 8-0. Res Christian over Eaton here in the 106-pound match.
That's a name from a few years ago.
Which one?
The one you just said.
Biggers?
No.
Oh, Schumacher.
No, the other one.
I'm not sure.
The hold.
Oh, the Milkovich, yeah.
Milkovich, yeah.
Yeah, Milkovich.
He's down here somewhere.
That's
isn't he?
funny. That's Malovich.
Malovich. Okay.
Milkovich is when you're out in front in the front headlock position and you you're chasing an ankle and you allow their momentum to go and you kind of shuck them through and it puts and it kind of shucks them by, and it was made famous by a Russian wrestler with the last name Milkovich back in the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's the story I was told, anyways. So we're winding down here in the second period, and Rez is real dominant still. Just dominant on top all period long. Did get a 3-point takedown here, and then rode out the Eaton Wrestler for the rest of the period. So it's going to be 8-0 heading into the third period. And it's going to be Eaton's choice here, and be curious to see what he's going to choose. He's going to choose both up again. Now, he has been shooting the Rez Wrestler off the mat, but Rez Wrestler has real good defense and a real nice quarter Nelson. They're tied up head-to-head in center. Now, Rez Wrestler snaps him down. They back out. Just kind of circling each other in center, working for inside tie, head-to-head. You can tell that Rez Wrestler just really wants to get a snap down in, or he wants that Eaton Wrestler to shoot on him, and he gets what he wants there on the edge of the mat. He's got to be careful. Like I said, he's got a stall warning already, and the ref brings him back to the center. I would guess if they go out of bounds again with another shot on the Eaton kid, that we're going to see a stall point.
They're really going around in circles.
Yeah. Those little guys move quick, and it's hard to call because it happens so fast. With these little guys, so they're just they're just in center. Eaton guy gets a shot off on him, and like I said, the Reds kid's going to get a stalling call, but that's right where he wants to be. He's got that front quarter again, and he's sprawling hard, and he's working a cross face and spinning around. He needs to catch that near ankle. Needs a cross face and block the head. Now he's got a blocked head, working to get around. He did give up a stall point, so it is 8-1. Now the Eaton kid hits a standing Peterson, and he's going to get back points here. So he's going to have a 3-point fall, 3-point takedown. So it's going to be 8-8 if he lets him up here, and it's going to be 8-8. Gets all 4 points for back points. So he went from being down 8-1 with 30 seconds left to being tied 8-8, and they're on the edge of the mat here as they go off. There's 28 seconds left to go in the match. He hit a 7-point standing Peterson to tie this thing up 8-8 with 28 seconds left to go in the third period. And we're going to have Rez Christian. Rez Christian's going to be down, and Eaton's going to be on top here. The Reds kid hits a switch right into his stand-up, trying to break the arms. The Eaton kid returns him back. He's got a bar in there. He's trying to tilt him up. He's not getting him loaded up. Coach Mustari is there on the edge of the mat, asking him to load up his hips into his own hips. It's going to be short time here. 10 seconds left. Still tied 8-8. And he's trying to tilt him again, but he doesn't have that arm blocked up. And we got real short time, 3 seconds, and he's up and around. The Reds kid's up, and he's not going to give up control. Wow.
Going to overtime.
Going to overtime. Going to be 8-8 heading to overtime. Eaton kid made up 7 points there in the last 30 seconds. And now the stalling call comes into play because the Reds Christian kid has two stalling calls on him. Eaton doesn't have any. Again, Rez kid snaps in. Eaton kid shoots a double, shoots him off. He's got to be careful here. He's going to give up a stalling call on the edge of the mat. That Eaton kid's out shooting him probably 10-0 here. Back to center. Eaton shoots again. Kind of a half-hearted shot. Now he's in kind of deep on a double leg, but the Reds kid's doing a good job of blocking and crossface. He's got kind of working he's got him in a what we call a pancake situation where he kind of crossface him down to his hip, and he's going to get the 3-point takedown to win it. So Rez Christian's Winston Shoemaker over Danny Biggers from Eaton. That's a heck of a match right there. In overtime, 11-8.
Drew a forfeit.
Wow.
Hawkins.
Okay, and Blake Hawkins, the number 1 ranked wrestler in state from Eaton's going to draw a forfeit. So nobody from Res at that weight. That's too bad.
120-pound weight class. From Resurrection Christian Jasper Gustafson. And from Eaton Nathan Fetzer.
All right. So 120 pounds, we got Jasper Gustafson from Res Christian and Nate Fetzer from Eaton. Neither guy is ranked in the latest rankings.
They're underway, year to year.
Yeah, ear to ear, just kind of hand fighting. Now the Eaton kid gets an outside single on him. He gets that thing elevated. He's going to try to switch that off to a double if I had to guess. No, he ran the pipe through, right down, puts the Res Christian kid on his butt, right for the takedown. So 3-0, 30 seconds in the match. And the Eaton kid is in a dominant position on top, kind of rolling both wrists under, looking for a half. Looks like he might be trying to look to throw some legs in, but I think he's going to be content with trying to control those wrists right now. Yeah, he's just got that wrist, and he's got the wrist on the left side. He's got his head and the armpit on the left side, so he's trying to bar out that arm. Is what the Eaton wrestler is trying to do to the Res Christian wrestler here. Res Christian wrestler kind of bases up and hits a switch, and the Eaton wrestler was able to bring him back down pretty easily there. Finally gets a leg thrown in, but the Res Christian guy does a good job of fighting off that leg, and they come back to referee's position. We're going to have a tilt attempt here. Yep. The Eaton kid's trying to tilt the Res kid, and unfortunately for Res, he was able to roll through, but that Eaton kid looks like he's trying to get that tilt again, but he needs to slow that thing down and actually get him loaded up in his hips. Now he's gonna let him up here with 29 seconds left to go on the edge of the mat here. So 3-1, Eaton over Res. Res kid shoots in. Eaton kid gets a nice sprawl, crossface, near ankle. Like to see that. That's fundamental wrestling right there for the 3-point takedown. Now he's gonna let him up, but he didn't lose contact with him. So kind of tried to let him up, didn't lose contact with him, so no points exchanged when he takes him back down here. We got short time in the period, about 3 seconds left to go in the first period, and we're going to end up 6-1. Eaton's Nate Fetzer over Res Christian's Jasper Gustafson.
You got that one.
Got it.
Res Christian's not too far away from there, from the Reds.
Nope, about 15 miles is all they're away. They are bitter rivals in football. Oh, got a whistle here. I'm not sure what that was, but they awarded the Res Christian kid a point here, so I'm not sure what that was.
Maybe had a
The Res Christian
wrong
got the
hold or
point.
something.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Eaton kid's gonna go ahead and hit a sit out and be able to get around him. So Eaton scores a reversal there with 1:30 left to go in the second period. It's going to be 8-2, Eaton over Res. You know, they're both kind of just working here in the center of the mat, not really doing a lot. I can see the ref getting antsy. He's kind of a stall happy ref, I think, because he's called it quite a bit, and looks like he's looking to call the stall.
Yeah. That last move was only 2 points.
Well, the Eaton kid's in on a single here, but he's got to be careful. He's liable to get spladled. He's got that single with his head on the inside, and he maintains control. But he's got to get that head to the outside if he doesn't want to give up that spladle. So the Res kid kind of hits a little half-hearted sit out there. Eaton follows him back around. Little tight waist wrist here. Lots of pressure forward. Gets his pressure forward. Now he's working a bar. Looks like he's trying to trap that arm for a tilt here. I'd expect him to try to load up a tilt here. Still working for it. Now he gives up that arm for a bar. But that bar just wasn't very deep, and he didn't have good forward pressure on that. Now he throws in a leg, and they're both kind of wrestling on a hip here. He's got both legs in. Res guy's trying to fight the other leg in from coming in fully. and we're going to be short time here, so 5 seconds. I think that's where we're going to end the period here. Is 8-2. Eaton's Nate Fetzer over Jasper Gustafson. Good Lord, why is that name is hard to say
It's
for
a
me.
long one.
Yeah. From Rez.
They're going to go on top.
Going to
On
go
their
neutral.
feet,
Yeah,
yeah.
going to go neutral here to start the
Neutral,
third
yeah.
period. Eaton shoots a double leg. Rez does a good job of sprawling. Now he's working a front headlock, a lot of pressure on his head there, kind of spinning around, trying to chase that ankle. Still spinning. They're telling him to put the head in the hole. He does put that head in the hole. Now he's working for an inside cradle. If you can get him, if you can get him rolled over and spread out there, he's still working that inside cradle. Gets a takedown instead. So takedown for Rez. It's going to be 8-5. Minute 20 left to go in the third period. Eaton over Rez in the 120-pound match here.
Nate Fetzer for Eaton.
Yeah, got a minute left. Rez Kid's still down 8-5. He needs to probably let him up or do something. He's not going to turn this kid. So I would expect him to start letting him up and try to take him down. The Eaton kid's going to get dinged for stalling. He's just kind of laying flat, hips to the mat, just not wanting to give up any back points here. He's going to get dinged for stalling here in the next couple seconds. I would almost guarantee it here. Rez Kid's got both wrists, just rolling them under, trying to work a hand on the back, trying to work something. He's got to get a turn here, but if I were him, I'd let him up. Eaton Kid hits a stand-up, and he's going to return him back to the mat.
Uh-oh.
And as he returns him back to the mat, the Eaton Kid hits a switch and gets back around him for a reversal. So it's going to be 10-5, about 10 seconds left to go in the third period here. I think Eaton's going to get the win here. Eaton Kid's doing a good job of keeping a lot of pressure on that front spiral. Finally, kind of keeps his weight into him, got a lot of forward pressure and busting flat to the mat, and that's where the match is going to end 10-5. Eaton's Fetzer over Rez Christensen and Gustafson.
Okay. That was a good match, though.
Yeah, it was a really good
Really
match.
got after it.
Absolutely. All right, let's see who we got up next here.
Next in the 126-pound weight class, from Resurrection Christian, Grayson Browning, and from Eaton, Joseph Inslee.
Okay, from Eaton we got Joseph Ensley, and from Rez Christian we got Grayson Browning. Again, neither of them is ranked in the latest rankings here. Okay, we're underway and just kind of working head-to-head ties. Oh, now the Eaton kid hits a fireman, does a pretty good job, but he lets it go, but he comes back into an outside single. He's got to block off that hip and bring his hips back around. Rez is doing a pretty good job of sprawling and fighting off that single. They're kind of scooting. Now they gets a crotch lock there, and the Rez kid rolls him through, and he's gonna scramble, and he ends up on top in the scramble here. And he's gonna get a 3-point takedown here, and if the Eaton kid's not careful here, he's gonna give up some back points because he ended up on top of them with those legs in. Now he's got a really deep half. If he can finish on top, the Eaton kid's gonna be in trouble. Now he's giving up back points. He is gonna give up back points, and he switches almost into a guillotine here. Real tight guillotine. He's going to get the 4 points for sure, and he's working for the fall because he's locked up on top, and he's got that back arm locked under both legs there. Got a minute left to go in the first period here. Eaton wrestlers in big trouble if the Rez kid can keep his balance. Now the Eaton kid's got his arm trapped, and he kind of tries to roll through and almost put the Rez kid in danger, but the Rez kid's able to settle back in. Kind of got a reverse half, and Eaton does a pretty good job of bridging out of that and fighting off. I thought for sure he's going to get up the fall there. So it's going to be 7-0, 30 seconds left in the first period. Rez over Eaton right now. The Rez kid puts in those legs again. He's a real tall kid, long and lanky, putting in those legs, and he wants to leg whip over. Now he's trying to leg whip him with a little power half there, and the Eaton kid's just kind of laying there trying to figure out what's going on here in the first period. Now he's got the leg whip again, trying to cross face and scoop his head. Got 6 seconds left to go in the first period, and And it's going to be a dominant first period for Res Christian's Grayson Browning over Joseph Ensley. 7-0 to end this period. Wow. That's a great scramble. Eaton Wrestler's going to choose down here.
Yeah, kind of catching a little air there. Oh, they're getting ready.
Yeah, and again, the Res Wrestler's going to throw in a leg, just so darn lanky. Eaton's guy hit a stand-up, did hit a stand-up there, but Browning's so lanky, he's able to throw that leg in and just get him stretched out, and he's putting a ton of pressure on his hips right now. Got one leg in, the other leg got a body lock on. Now he puts both legs in, and he's just stretching out the Eaton Wrestler. And I tell you what, that's exhausting on the bottom there when you're carrying all that weight. Now he's kind of he's scooped ahead, got some back points coming to him. Now he's got a power half on, but he's a little bit high. If the Eaton Wrestler can shake him down, but he does a really good job of keeping that half in. Now he's going to get some more points. Now he scoops the head again. He's going to finish. Nope, Eaton Wrestler's doing a good job of fighting it off, and now he gets a reversal, and he has a half on the Res Kid. We're going to have a reversal. Now he's getting back points over the Res Kid, trying to settle in. A minute left to go in the second period. He was down 10-0. It's going to be 10-6 at the minimum here if he can keep him on his back. Res Kid is able to fight that off, but he's still got he's still got that half in, still trying to run it. Res Kid's fighting it. Oh my gosh, and he gets him turned again. That's tight, and he gets the fall.
Oh, wow.
Gets the fall. So 3:20 in the match. We get the fall. Eaton's Wrestler Joseph Ensley over Grayson Browning down 10-2 and comes back for the fall in the second period.
132 pounds.
That's at 126, I believe.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
My paper's not right again. Okay, now we're ready to go again. Did you hear any names?
I did not hear the names that time. But it should be Ethan Deal, who is
138.
Well, that was at 132 though. I did not hear the name. Shoot. Let's check the weigh-in sheets here. Let's check the weigh-in sheets and see who is after these guys. So 132, it should be Justin Firestein from Eaton, who's not on my list. Yep, Justin Feinstein and Bodie Ward from Res Christian.
Okay, got Bodie, a freshman. Bodie Ward, is that right?
Yep, freshman. Looks like he's been wrestling 138s or 144s, but he's down at 132 right now. And then yeah, Firestein's not on the list here for Eaton, so not sure what year he is. But we're at 40 seconds left to go in the first period. Not much has happened. Not a whole lot of action. I think there's been one shot so far. A little bit of a scramble, but we're coming back to center, and they're both neutral here as they both kind of crouch down. Eaton Wrestler must have broken nose or something because he's wearing one of those big, thick black masks. I always hated wrestling kids with those masks. That, you know, it hurt your face. It just, they're so hard, and every time you hit it, it just seems to always sting you.
Ooh.
Oh, and Bodie's in on a shot on Firestein. Firestein with a good sprawl. He's got short time, 9 seconds left to go in the first period here. Trying to get around him. Bodie Ward does a good job of hitting a little hip heist out. Oh, and he shoots a shot right at the end of the period here. That was a real deep double, but time ran out on him here as he tried to finish that. So it's going to end up 0-0 going into the second period. It's going to be Eaton's choice, and he's going to choose bottom. So again, 0-0. Bodie Ward and Eaton's Feinstein. Just kind of a little scramble out here as Ward kind of, Firestein just hit a stand up and Ward dropped down to a double, and Firestein tried frog kicking out of it, and Bodie Ward's able to catch up with him, bring him back down. Now he's got him in some trouble. He's got a leg in on there on the edge of the mat, trying to leg whip him over. Firestein's doing a pretty good job of keeping his hips square and to the mat, but he does have that little Turk in there, so not out of danger yet. But there he gets that leg out on the edge of the mat there. Bodie's working kind of a claw and spiral here. Now he's working what we call power half or bar, and now he's taking that arm for a bar. Now he puts the leg in on the right side, trying to leg whip him and cross face him over to the right. Doing a good job of keeping a lot of pressure in him. Here, and kind of working the wrists under. Now we got some blood time for the Res Christian guy, Bodie Ward.
Feinstein's going to, no, it's Bodie.
Yeah, that looks like Bodie's.
Boy, he's got a lot of blood there.
Yeah, he does. He's bleeding like a sieve.
Oh dear.
Well, I guess while we're waiting, read some advertisements. Got Equitable Savings and Loan. Borrow your money and do your banking with people you know and people who know you. Stop by one of their 10 locations across the plains or visit equitablesavings.com. Morgan Community College. Start your associate's degree, continue your education, or specialized certificate. Visit morgancc.edu for more. Bailey Mechanical. When your temperature is not quite right, call your local Lennox dealer. Bailey Mechanical at 970-522-0471.
Okay, this is 1010 KSIR, Brush Fort Morgan, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Okay,
So,
blood time over and back underway.
yeah, Rose will be happy with me. I got that.
Absolutely.
Close enough. Okay. Okay, we're about ready to get going.
Okay, we got Bodie Ward. Minute left, about 50 seconds left in the second period. Still tied 0-0. Eaton Wrestler hits a little stand-up. Res Wrestler kind of follows him around. His plug came out, so I'm going to expect some blood time here in a second again because his nose plug popped out. But he's must not be bleeding too bad yet because he's working some wrist, trying to roll him under. Got the Eaton Wrestler good and flat. And just trying to roll those wrists under, looking for an opportunity to hit some sort of pinning combination here. Still working those wrists. He's going to have to be careful here, though, because they both got their hips on the mat. And a lot of times when you stay hip to hip like that and just work wrists on top, you're probably going to get called for stall warning here. But he gets a bar in on the left side.
He's just a freshman, so
Just
he's
a
working
freshman.
pretty hard.
He is working hard. And he's going to go into third period, still tied 0-0 with Firestein from Eaton and Bodie Ward from Res. Firestein's going to load from the left side. And they both kind of just sit there. Ward kind of balls up, just looking for him to get high or make a move. Now he's pushing back and, hits a really nice hip heist. Bodie Ward hits a really nice hip heist to get the escape here. About 1:40 left to go in the third period. Res Christian's Bodie Ward's going to go up 1-0 over Firestein from Eaton. Yeah, we're just working for inside tie, working for some control. That first period wasn't a lot of action on the feet, but somebody's gonna have to make a move here because takedown wins it right here. Got 1:20 left to go in the third period. Both wrestlers are just kind of circling around. They actually called the Eaton wrestler for stalling, being down 1-0, and yeah, he just kind of shot a sloppy shot there. The Res wrestler is able to sprawl and get around him, so he gets a 3-point takedown there. So it's going to be 4-0. Bodie Ward over Firestein from Eaton. About a minute left to go in the period here. Ward's working the leg in, trying to stretch out Feinstein here. Working across that cross-body ride, now working for the guillotine. He's got that arm straightened out. You need to get his head under the arm if you can. If you can get that head under the arm, he'll get some back points here. But I think he's pretty happy with being up 4-0 here and just trying to ride him out. Firestein kind of hits a little half-hearted roll, and the Res wrestler is able to follow him here. Now he's still got the leg in, rolling both wrists under. Got 25 seconds left to go in the match. Bodie Ward's wrestling a pretty solid match right there. Now we're going to get another stoppage for blood here from Bodie Ward. I did see his nose plug squirt out here a little bit ago, so we're going to go back into blood time.
It doesn't look as bad as it did.
No,
was
not
earlier.
this time. Okay, we got Sydney Medical Regional Center. Don't let an injury keep you out of your game. Learn more about Sydney Regional Medical Center at sydneyrmc.com. I got B&B Appliance. With over 30 years of experience, B&B Appliance can help match the appliances to your needs. Stop by 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan. All right,
Yeah,
blood time's over.
it's getting close. That face mask is kind of nasty.
Yeah, it does. It just pops you in the wrong ways. Now we got 20 seconds left to go in the match. Res Christian kid puts a leg in, and he's going to break him. The Eaton kid doesn't really want to get out. It's what we call breaking a kid when you're up in a match and you just kind of keep riding him and keep riding him and keep riding. Pretty soon the kid on bottom just kind of quit and go on to the next day, and that's what's going to happen here. So it's going to be 4-0. Bodie Ward over Firestein from Eaton.
Wow. 4-0. Catch.
Wrestling in the 138-pound weight class from Resurrection Christian, Cade Slinker, and from Ethan Deal.
Okay, so we're at 138. Got Cade Slinker. That looked like Saeed. C-A-E-D. I didn't think, maybe it's just misspelled here, but Cade Slinker and Ethan Deal. So we got a couple ranked wrestlers here. Ethan Deal ranked number 5 for Eaton, and Cade Slinker ranked number 7 for Eaton. So should be a nice little match here.
And we're underway. Got a different singlet for the Gray's kid. All black, except for a white R on it.
Yep, both kids just in the center. Res kid finally tries to hit in a double leg, but Eaton's Deal does a good job of fending that off. Kind of sprawled, a little scramble, and Eaton's Deal ended up on top with his legs in. He's going to be up 3-0 early in this first period. About a minute left to go in the first period here. And now Deal's got both legs in there, and he's stretching them out. There's a lot of pressure there. He's doing a good job of rolling both wrists under Slinkard from Res here.
Is that Grant Slinkard or is that
Cade Slinkard. Cade Slinkard, they said.
okay? Senior. I don't know about that. There is a Grant Slinkard out of last year at second place at state. So
Well, I would think if he took second at state, he probably wouldn't be ranked 7th this year.
probably not. Maybe it's a brother.
I would bet. Yeah, I bet it's an older brother there.
Okay.
All right, we're winding down here the first period. Not much action's been going on. Just got the Eaton wrestler with the legs in, stretching them out. Up 3-0. About 5 seconds left to go here in the first period, and that's where we're going to end up. Good first period by the Eaton wrestler. He's going to draw a stall call on the Res wrestler. Res wrestler wasn't doing much. Eaton wrestler is trying to work pin combinations and creating a lot of motion. He's going to draw a stall warning on the Res wrestler here. Eaton won the toss, or it's their choice, and they choose both up here. So we're going to start both up 2-0. Start the second period, or excuse me, 3-0. Start the second period. Ooh, nice outside single by Deal. Good job sprawling by Slinkard. Come back to center. Both wrestlers tying up, kind of working for inside control. Slinkard kind of shoots a shot, deals with a reshot. Now they back away from each other and back to center again. Slinkard in on another double leg, has Deal down on a hip. Deal's looking back to Mastari, see what he should be doing. Slinkard's coming in the middle there. He's got to get his hips through, and he's gonna, if he can just get him down on a hip and work that other arm out, But Deal's doing a good job of staying locked up and staying close in with them, hoping for a stalemate here is what Deal's hoping for. And Slinker with Res Christian needs to finish this needs to finish this move, which he's not gonna. They're gonna work towards a stalemate. That was a lot of work for a stalemate there for Slinker. Good job by Deal fending that off. We're gonna come back to center. A minute left to go in the second period with Eaton's Deal over Slinker 3-0.
There's a nice shot,
Excuse me.
but it didn't work.
Yeah, another shot by Slinker. Deal does a good job defending there. Deal has really good defense. I've been watching him here. Both wrestlers ear to ear. Now Slinker kind of snaps Deal under him. Slinker's definitely the taller of the two wrestlers, so he's got a little bit of leverage if he can get him under there. Now he's working a front headlock, chasing that near ankle. He keeps chasing it. Now he's going to work that Milkovich. Now he's going for what we call a pancake, but Deal does a good job of throwing a headlock out of that pancake, and he's going to get around for the 2. Wow, that was a great scramble by both of those boys. It's going to be 3, so it's going to be 6-0, 3 seconds left in the second period.
Slinker's rolling around too.
Yeah, and it was hard to call that because it happened so fast, but Deal was in on a single. Slinker, what we call a pancake, so he has a crossface, and he tries throwing a headlock from one side. Deal felt that, and he threw a headlock from the other side, rolled them all through, and when the dust settled, the scramble ended there, Deal came out on top. So he's going to be up 6-0 heading into the third period over Slinker. And Slinker's going to choose down to start the third period. Deal loads him from the left side. He's trying to work in a leg. Slinker's so long, he's got that leg caught. Deal's riding high, but he's doing a pretty good job of trying to keep his weight back. It looks like he's got his leg stuck. Now he's got that leg stuck through, now he's got that leg in there. He's got one spike on the right side. Trying to work spike on the left side, but he's riding a little high. Now he's got both spikes in. Now he's working to stretch him out and break him flat to the mat so he can work some sort of pinning combination here. But Pinker's so long, he's doing a good job of just kind of staying on his base, but he's going to have to do something besides just basing up because he's down 6-0. There's about 1:15 left to go in this match. Slinker's got a couple heels, and they get into a crab position. Now he gets 2 reversals, so it's going to be 6-2. A minute left to go in the third period. I'd probably try to cut him here and just try taking him down, unless you can get a 5 count and turn him. But he hasn't proven he can do that yet here in this match. He's working the near ankle, gets Deal down, but Deal grabs kind of a. Oh, they're side by side, and Deal grabs his ankle. Now they both kind of got each other's ankles, got each other's legs, and just kind of scrambling right here. But it's going to be short time. 20 seconds left to go, down 6-2. He's going to have to do something. Now we're going to call potentially dangerous, as Deal kind of had his leg tweaked there a little bit. So we're going to be 20 seconds left to go in the match. Eaton's Deal up 6-2 over Slinker from Res Christian. Yeah, and Rez's coach is telling him to cut him here. So he's going to cut him. I don't know if he'll fully cut him or if he'll try working a pinning combination from here, but this is the right decision here. Yep. So he kind of cuts him. He's trying to work for a bow and arrow headlock or bow and arrow cradle, but Deal's doing a good job of bowing out on that, and he looks like he's a strong kid. It's going to be hard to get that move on him there. As we're winding down here, Slinker's just not going to get her done here. It's short time, and there's the match, 6-2. 6-2, Ethan Deal over Cade Slinker.
6-2. All right for Eaton.
Next up, 144-pound weight class from Resurrection Christian, Carter Gillespie, and from Eaton, Braden Eddy.
All right, so from Eaton at 144 pounds, we've got Braden Eddy. And for Res Christian, we have Carter Gillespie. And Carter is ranked number 8 in this week's On the Mat rankings. We're going to take a little water break here. The refs need some water.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
Okay, the Res kid's quite a bit taller, and we're underway. Here at 144 pounds. Nice little shot by the Eaton wrestler,
Yeah, it's
Braden Eddy.
gonna get stuck there though. Gillespie's doing a good job. Crossface. Eddie still does have his leg, but the Reds kid's going to put a lot of pressure in there, and he's got that crossface, and he's chasing that near ankle, and he's going to get the takedown. Now he's working back points. Yeah, he's in big trouble there. Got both legs in. Gillespie's working both legs in, and now he's trying to work a power half or maybe even a scoop, crossface and a scoop. Now he's working back to the power half. Still has both legs in. Now he's working the power half. He's got him close to that danger zone. He's gets a 1 count. He's got that half in. He needs to punch it through, and he's going to finish on top. But he let that arm slip out, so he's not gonna get any points for that. Minute left in the first period, and Gillespie is up over Eddie 3-0.
Well, he gets a
Now-
headlock on him.
Yeah, now he's gonna get that scoop. So he's got that Turk in on the leg, and he's gonna scoop that crossface and hold him there for a 2 count. So hold him there for a 5 count. I did not see him count 5, so it's gonna be 4 back points. He's gonna work for some more back points here. A little cheap tilt. 7-0, 30 seconds left. Gillespie over Eddie from Eaton. Ooh, and Gillespie hits, I don't know what the heck that was, but it's awful dangerous when you expose your own back. But it's going to work out for him because they're just kind of flopping around there, and he's going to catch him on his side. And I cannot tell if he's going to be awarded 2 more back points, and it's going to be 9-0. Just kind of a scramble there where Eddie just kind of got caught on his back, and Gillespie's looking for a leg cradle. But there's going to be short time here. Wow. Gillespie's a good wrestler, but he's kind of wrestling a little sloppy, a little out of control. If he can get that slowed down just a little bit, he's going to be dominant this match.
He's showing up in it as a freshman, too.
Is that right? That's pretty good.
That's what it says here.
Yep, so ranked number 8 as a freshman halfway through the year. Pretty good. And Gillespie chooses down, up 9-0 heading in the second period here. Hits a nice little switch into a sit-out. Gets the 2-point reversal. Now he's on top, throws a leg in on Eddie here. And he's just trying for this cheap tilt. Just kind of staying in between his legs and just trying to muscle him over a tilt. It's kind of a weird move. I don't know what you'd call it.
The Gillespie.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a bold move, Cotton.
Okay.
Oh, now he's still trying it, but gosh darn, they just kind of flop around, and he ends up catching Eddie on his back again. Now he's got a Saturday Night Ride on him. That's real tight. Saturday Night Ride and a reverse half, and he gets the fall.
Wow.
So 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the match, Gillespie gets the fall over Braden Eddy here from Eaton.
157-pound weight class. From Resurrection Christian, Joe Lockey. And from Eaton, Braden Bedsworth.
All right, we got Joe Lockey from Res, and we got Braden Bedsworth from Eaton here. And we got Joe Lockey is ranked number 10 at 150 for Res.
Okay. He's a senior.
Against Bedsworth from Eaton. And we got Lockey working an underhook on the left side. Now he shoots under that underhook. Kind of gets stuck underneath him, but he has that arm trapped, and he hits a little tilt out of that fireman trap there, and he gets around him for the 3-point takedown. Good job by Lockey there. But Bedsworth pops right back up. Gillespie's trying to follow him, and he's going to elevate, and he's going to return him back to the mat. Now he's working inside wrist, trying to get him busted down. Bedsworth doing a pretty good job of not going down flat. But now Lockey's finally got him settled down a little bit and starting to work some control here. He's got a spiral and a claw, it looks like to me, keeping that spiral nice and tight. Finally works his hip down to the mat, working a 2-on-1, trying to roll those wrists under right now. So we're a minute into the first period, and locks up 3-0 over Bedsworth from Eaton. Yep, same thing. They're just sitting there in referee's position. Lockie's trying to roll out. Now he's out to the side trying to get that arm on his back. Lots of pressure on that shoulder. Betzworth does a good job of not going flat and not allowing that wrist to go to his back. Now Lockie's trying to lock up a tilt. Doesn't have him loaded up though. Now he's got a bar on the right side. Got short time, got 15 seconds left to go in the first period here. But Lockie's got a bar, but Betzworth must be pretty strong because he's trying to run that bar over and couldn't get it done. Betzworth kind of muscles out of it and comes into a single leg, but Lockie still got control, and we're going to end the period right there. Almost had a point for Betzworth, but no loss of control there. So it's going to be 3-0 Lockie over Betzworth from Eaton.
Okay, it looks like Lockie's going to go down. Okay, we're underway. Lockie. He's having a little trouble getting out from underneath there.
Yeah, Betzworth's doing a good job of keeping that nice tight waist. Betzworth, a strong kid, I can see. He's just working the tight waist and just squeezing the heck out of him. Gillespie kind of hits an inside switch there. Now they're both kind of in an inside switch, little scramble situation. Lockie pops his hips over the top of Betzworth, and he's got Betzworth in trouble. And he's going to get the 2 on that switch, so he's going to go up 5-0. Minute 20 left in the second period. And we're going to have Lockie over Betzworth from Eaton here.
They've almost stayed on the 10-foot circle.
Yeah, they haven't
whole
moved out of the
match.
10-foot circle. Yeah, they've been doing a good job of staying right in the middle of the mat here this whole time. Now Lockie's doing a good job staying in control here, working a spiral and a tight waist, and now he's got his knee in the butt and working him forward, trying to bust him flat. But like I said, Betzworth a stout kid. Now he's got trying to ball and chain him here. Let's go with the ball and chain. Finally gets that left arm back up on his back. Needs to keep the pressure. Now he gets a half on the right side and a bar on the left. And if he can get this worked over, that's going to be really tight. And he does get it worked over. He's going to get back points here, and that's going to be tight. But Betzworth's doing a good job of staying. I don't know how he's not getting pinned, and he is a very flexible kid because those shoulders are double and triple jointed apparently.
Ouch.
Yeah, that is not a fun position to be in. He's still got that half tight. Oh, and he's working it over the top there. Coach Mastari is looking for a potentially dangerous here. He's not going to get it, but there's going to be short time left. But Lockie is going to get 4 points out of that, so it's going to be 9-0 heading into the third period for Joe Lockie over Braden Betzworth of Eaton. Betzworth asks Coach Mastari where he wants to go, and Mastari tells him wherever he wants. So he chooses both up here.
Okay. Betzworth, good shot there,
Yep.
but
Coach Mastari
still
must be a
on her
little
feet.
frustrated here with the Eaton wrestler. Lockie kind of shoots a real sloppy double, and Betzworth tries locking up with what we call a high flyer, but just kind of falls to his butt, and he's going to give up another takedown here. So it's going to be 12-0. Lockie over Betzworth of Eaton. 1:30 left to go in the third period, and I would not expect a lot from Betzworth at this point. It looks like he might be broke there on the mat. Just kind of looks like he's okay with just kind of laying there right this second. But if I'm Lockie,
Really
I'm going.
tighten him up.
I'd be going for the tech fall or fall right here because you can tell that Betzworth kind of his spirits out of it after that last failed throw attempt there.
Getting over to the edge finally.
Little Granby attempt by Betzworth, and Lockie follows him and gets him back flat to the mat. 47 seconds left to go in the third period. Lockie's trying to get that arm trapped on his back again. He's got a lot of pressure on that left arm, pulling up on the left leg. It looks like Lockie's going to be okay with just a major decision here, but you know that the Reds coaches are going to want a tech fall or a fall, so they're still spouting off things the coach is begging his wrestler to keep wrestling here. Both wrestlers are just must be exhausted there, just kind of tripoded up in the middle of the mat. Just both hanging here.
About 10 seconds left.
Yep, Betsworth with another Granby attempt here. Trying to finish on top, but Lockie does a good job of keeping his hips up, kind of hops over his waist, and that's where the match is going to end up. Here's 12-0 major decision for Josh Lockie over Braden Betsworth of Eaton.
Okay, 12-0. Yeah. Major decision.
From Resurrection Christian, Josh Stockton, and from Eaton, Paxton Pettinger.
Okay, Paxton at 157 for Eaton, and is it going to be William Golden?
Looks
For
like
the
we got
Cougars.
Paxton Pettinger and let me tell you here real quick. I gotta look at their weigh-in sheet one more time.
Go to 157 pounds.
Josh Stockton.
Josh Stockton. Okay, he was down there a little ways.
Yep. So at 157, we got
Freshman.
Paxton Pettinger from Eaton is ranked number 5. And you can kind of see the inexperience here. You got a freshman versus senior. Pettinger's in on a single. Gets his leg lifted up into the treetop, trips him back down. Now he's in a reverse half situation here. Working for the fall here on the edge of the mat here. And this freshman from Res is in deep trouble here. But he does a good job of getting back to his stomach, but he's going to get up 4. So it's going to be 7-0 with a minute left to go in the first period here for Paxton Pettinger. Excuse me.
Kind of locking up and getting out to the edge.
Yep, Pettinger's locking
Well,
up
they're
that.
giving up some points.
Yeah, locking
so
up that tilt. You could hear Coach Mastari tell him to tight waist and grab and trap, and he does do it right on the edge of the mat. So good job by Pettinger grabbing another 4 points there, 4-point near fall on the edge of the mat. So it's going to be 11-0, 42 seconds left to go in the first period yet. Pettinger loads from the left side, bus Stockton down flat again. Pettinger's working, trying to work for some double unders here, trying to roll the wrists under. I would think he's going to look for another tilt here. Yep, and he's looking for that far side tilt here, and I bet he puts the head in the hole and goes, but Stockton does a good job of standing up, and Pettinger's going to shoot him off the mat, so we're going to come back to center. 11-0, 22 seconds left to go in the first period. Pettinger loads from the right side this time. Stockton sits back on his ankles, trying to keep that weight off, Pettinger's weight off of him, and allow him to stand back up. He pressures back. Pettinger does a good job, kind of sucking him back and staying under control, working 2 wrists. Now he's working kind of a wrist and a half. Now he's just trying to get those wrists rolled under. And we got short time left in the first period, and that's where we're going to end the first period. Is 11-0 Paxton Pettinger over Josh Stockton of Res Christian. Excuse me. We have Pettinger's choice, and he chooses top, and I don't blame him there. He's going to go for the tech fall or fall here.
it's already got 11 points.
Yep, 11-0 start of the second period. Stockton hits a sit out, and Pettinger does a good job of following him. Now he's got a power half in. Stockton's a tough kid, though. I tell you what, he's fought off a couple of these things. That was going to be a real tight power half, and he fought that off. Pettinger's just trying to work for something that he can get some sort of pinning combination here. He needs to get a fall or a near fall here for Coach Mastari.
Okay. We got some little helpers behind us here. Yeah, having fun.
That's good. Like to see kids watching wrestling. Yep, not a lot of action here in the second period, so about a minute and 5 seconds left to go in the second period. Pettinger still up 11-0 over Stockton of Res. Now Pettinger's kind of got that locked up, and he's trying to trap that arm again for that inside tilt if he can. Stockton does a good job of blocking again. Pettinger's cross face across the right side. Now he's near ankle trying to pick and step. Let's go with the pick and step, and now he's trying for a cross face cradle, but he needs to keep that hand flat. Trying to work the cross face cradle. Stockton does a good job of getting his butt off the mat. Now Pettinger jumps across. He's got it locked up, and he's a bump into him. He's looking for some back points here. If he can get that bump, if he can get bumped into him and get Pettinger off the side. Excuse me, get Stockton off the side. But he does a good job. Stockton again does a good job of fighting off that crossface cradle. But now he's in big trouble if he's got the half on. Pettinger has a half on. Stockton does a good job again of breaking that half. Now Pettinger's 2-on-1, knee forward. Stockton stands up, and they kind of roll out of bounds there.
A restart there.
Yep, restart in the center of the mat. Pettinger on top. 15 seconds left to go. Still up 11-0. So no points given up by Stockton this period. And he actually, it was Pettinger's choice to go up. So he's expecting to score some points on top here. Now he's off to the side trying to put that right arm on his back, and that's where we're going to end the period. So we got Eaton's Paxton Pettinger up over Josh Stockton from Rez, 11-0. Now we got some blood time, it looks like here. Blood time on Eaton. Looks like he's bleeding from his nose. Okay.
Yeah, how you doing over there?
Doing pretty good. We got Stubbs Gas and Oil. One-stop shop. Shopping does exist. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Get off I-76 at exit 66A in Wiggins to visit them. And I tell you what, they do have one of the best delis out there. Got Rudy's Tires. 9 locations across Northeast Colorado and Nebraska means there's always a location close by. Rudy's Tires brings you the Eastern Plains Sports Network today, every day, every weekday on 1010 KSIR. Visit rudy'stires.com for more. Man, I butchered that one.
Oh, there's a nice shot there by Pettinger.
Yeah,
He's
Pettinger.
gonna get the touchdown.
Pettinger with the shot there on the edge of the mat, so it's going to be 14-0 with minute 40 left to go in the third period. And he's going to look to score here. I know Coach Mastari is going to want him to finish strong here. And he hasn't stopped working, so that's one good thing. And neither of these guys have really stopped working.
Oh, we might get a point here.
I didn't see what happened. Coach Cox was texting me, so I was looking at my phone.
He's helping us out.
Give me some insider information for the next duels here.
Okay, Pettinger got out of that mess. Right there on the far side.
Yep, so Pettinger gets a reversal, so it's going to be 16-2 with 50 seconds left to go in the third period. I got to say this about Stockton, though. He's for a freshman, he's a tough kid. You know, Pettinger, I don't know if he placed last year, but I know he was close to placing. And, you know, again, he's ranked 5th this year. So good job by the Rez Christian freshman, not giving up a tech fall or a fall.
Paxton Pettinger, 138, was 6th.
Was 6th last year. Okay. Yeah, so again, good job by the freshman from Rez. If he can keep this from being a fall situation or a fall situation or a tech fall. Now Pettinger's trying to let him up there on the edge of the mat. Yeah, Coach Mastari wants this tech fall. So Pettinger's going to go neutral here. So it's going to be 16-3, and Pettinger's going to go after here this last 8 seconds. The clock's not starting. Oh my gosh, the clock's not starting. And Pettinger's going to get a takedown. I don't know what they're going to call here. The clock didn't start for probably 5 or 6 seconds, so I'm not sure. Yeah, Rez's coach is going to challenge this, or going to come over and talk about it, because there's 8 seconds left to go in the match here. And that clock did not start for a good 5 or 6 seconds. And Pettinger did get a takedown, so it would be 19-3 if the takedown stands. See what the ref comes up with here. Okay, they are going to give it to him, so they're going to say that there was enough time that did not run off that clock. So we got Braden Pettinger with a tech fall over Josh Stockton from Rez Christian.
16-3. Okay.
Between Resurrection and Eaton, from Resurrection, Tristan Welch, and from Eaton, Dakota Laney.
When I got to tell you, Josh Stockton's ranked at 165, so he's not going to be at 165s for Brush. So that was actually 2 ranked wrestlers there. So Josh Stockton's ranked 13th as a freshman at 165s.
Okay, we'll have Dakota Lanning coming up for Eaton. Tristan Welsh, is that right?
Yes, it is right. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm not right very often. Okay.
Yeah, Dakota Lanning for Eaton and Tristan Welsh from Res Christian, a junior from Res. And he got Welsh in on a double legs, got Lanning down on his hip. He needs to pull his head out if he can. He's kind of stuck in between his legs. And Lanning's kind of got a crotch lock or gut lock on that opposite side, just kind of a scramble right here.
Not
You know
sure
Welsh is going
who's
to want.
got who.
Yeah, well, you know Welsh wanted to score there, but they're going to come to a stalemate and come back to center and do it again. Minute 23 left to go in the first period. So both wrestlers just kind of hand fighting here on the edge of the mat. Welsh is doing a good job keeping his hands heavy, not allowing Lanning to control his hands. So he's kind of flicking his hands down. It's what we call heavy hands. Making sure that he doesn't give up hand control. Now Lanning does a pretty good job of snapping him down. He's got a pretty tight front headlock. Now they both kind of have a front headlock situation going on. Both down on a knee, both trying to put pressure on the other. Looked to me like Lanning was trying to hit a cement mixer, and Welsh kind of popped his head out. So now they're both in that front head situation. I bet they're going to work towards a stalemate here.
They're locked up pretty tight.
Yeah, pretty tight, both on a knee. Oh, now he lets it go. Welsh gets in on kind of an outside single. A little short time. We got 20 seconds left to go in the first period. Welsh in on a single. Lanning's doing a pretty good job of sprawling. Now he's got that front quarter. Got Welsh stretched out. If he can get around him here, he's going to get the 3. Now he's going to run around. Now he kind of falls over the top of him, though, as he's running around him. But he's able to secure that 3 points. So 3-point takedown, short time. 3-point takedown for Dakota Lanning of Eaton. So it's going to be 3-0 Dakota Lanning of Eaton over Tristan Welsh of Res Christian.
Pretty good scramble there.
Yeah, it was a great scramble.
Dakota Lanning's quite a bit taller. Almost a foot or so taller than his opponent. Tristan Welsh. He's on the bottom here in the second period. Quick stand up. Lanning out front. Tying up with Tristan. Has a leg down there, I think.
Yeah, I can't really see. Again, I was texting Coach Cox, getting some intel for the next matches here.
That'll be good. You'll probably have a little bit of a time.
I would think you're going to have a little bit of a break. Oh, Lanning they kind of flop, and Lanning ends up on his back. They were side to side, and Welsh ends up on top of him. He's going to get a takedown and back points here, and that's going to get tight as he's trying to work that bundle of arms there. Now he's got a reverse. He's got that reverse half. He's on his toes, chest to chest, and he gets the fall. Tristan Welsh gets the fall over Dakota Lanning.
Wow.
The second period, 1:05 left to go. So what, a 255 pin? So 255 pin for Tristan Welsh, Res Christian's Tristan Welsh over Eaton's Dakota Lanning. And I'm not sure what the team scores are, so I apologize.
Okay. Now we got to start this all over again. Twice. Yeah.
Okay, well, good duel. Not sure who won the duel, but we'll definitely get back to you and let you know who won that duel. So.
Okay.
Okay, so we got Advanced Agri Solutions. Water is key to your crop success. Advanced Agri Solutions has year-round and seasonal probes that help make sure you have the right amount of water. Call Dusty or Roxy McCormick at 970-571-2024. Premier Farm Credit. For over 100 years, they've been providing affordable, reliable, and consistent credit. Visit premieraca.com. Gordon Insurance. Be prepared for everything that life throws at you. Car insurance, life insurance, farm insurance, and crop insurance. All at Gordon Insurance. Visit GordonINS.com. Got Bank of Colorado. They believe in keeping things simple. Apply for the loan you need for your dream home fully online. Visit bankcolorado.com for the information today. Northeastern Junior College. It's not just a college, it's Northeastern. The largest residential community in Colorado wants to help in your educational journey. Visit njc.edu for more. Van Eyck Insurance. Insurance from over 16 lines to help you find the right one to fit your budget. Stop in and see Van Eyck Insurance at 508 West Main in Sterling. Weston Engineers Consultants. Since 2003, they've been providing big firm product and with small firm relationships. Visit westerneci.com for more. Wiggins Electric. Count on Wiggins Electric for quick, efficient, and courteous service to keep you up and running. They provide you with service and products that you need for your most critical times. Sarah Boone Farm Insurance. Sarah Boone with Farm Insurance Bureau, here to help. You deserve more. You deserve a promise. And I promise I won't read those again.
For a while. Okay, we want to thank you. This is 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We're going to have a short break, and so don't run away because we got 2 more matches.
Yeah, our next duel will be Eaton and Brush, and then Brush and Rez to end it up. So should be back going here in the next 5-10 minutes, you think?
Well, I hope so.
Yep.
I think we got enough time to have some guys that are not timed out.
Yep,
so.
I think so too. So.
Okay. Well, let's send it down to the headquarters, and we'll be back in a few moments here on 1010 KSIR.
Okay. Welcome back to Eastern Plains Sports Network, 1010 KSIR's coverage of brush wrestling. We're about ready to get going again. Travis Lefevre and Rob Hastings on the call here, and I'm just waiting for Rob to come back up. We're trying to figure out some track wrestling. We're trying to figure out some track wrestling so we can keep track of the team scores, but we had a great first duel. Eaton and Rez, I'm not sure what the final score was of that duel, but it was really close, had some really good matches, and now we got Eaton and Brush coming out, and we got the Lunatic Fringe from Vision Quest coming out, and that means Brush wrestlers are starting to come out and taking their laps around the mat here. So again, we got Eaton ranked number 3 in the state, number 4 in the state, and Brush is not ranked in this week's rankings, which I find personally surprising, being as how many kids they have ranked in the top 10 or 15, but got Eaton ranked number 4. Brush isn't ranked, but there's going to be plenty of ranked matches this duel. We're gonna line up and get the announcements coming, and I'll let you guys listen in on who's wrestling who here. Oh, we're gonna do the national anthem.
Honor America for the playing of our national anthem.
Okay, great way to honor our country here. Now we're gonna get going.
Introduction of tonight's matchups in the 106-pound weight class.
Okay, 106 pounds.
From Eaton, Danny Biggers
we have Eaton, Danny Biggers, and from Brush, number 15 ranked Ian Blake.
113-pound weight class from Eaton, Blake Hawkins. And then we know one scheduled on the bout for Brush.
113 pounds, number 1 ranked Blake Hawkins from Eaton. And it looks like Brush is going to give up a forfeit here.
From Eaton, Nate Fetzer. And for your Diggers, Dustin Hernandez.
120, we got Eaton's Nate Fetzer, and we got Brush's Dustin Hernandez.
Joseph Inslee. And for your Diggers, Jonathan Potts.
Looks like we got 126, Joseph Enley from Eaton and Jonathan Potts from Brush.
And for your Diggers, Elias Barraza.
And we got Justin Firestein, Eaton, and Elias Barraza at 132. Elias Barraza ranked number 9. At 138, we have Ethan Deal ranked number 5, and it looks like we're going to have Alazar Acosta filling in at 138. At 144, you got Braden Eddy from Eaton, and your number 1 ranked returning state champion, Nick Dardanis, fresh off that big win against number 1 ranked Austin Collins last night in Ray.
And for your Diggers, Levi Cox.
Oh, that's not Levi. They announced Levi Cox at 150s, but it's going to be Percy Odell from Brush and Braden Betzworth from Eaton. At 157, you're going to have number 5, Paxton Penninger from Eaton, and you're going to have Landon Poss from Brush.
From Eaton, Dakota Lanning. And for your Diggers, Austin Lanning.
At 165, you're going to have Dakota Landing from Eaton and number 3 ranked Austin Lay from Brush.
75-pound weight class from Eaton, Cooper Morgans. And for your Diggers, Richie Bruno.
At 175, you got Cooper Morgans from Eaton, and your returning state champ, number 2 ranked Richie Bruno from from Brush. 190 pounds is going to be the key marquee matchup here. You got number 1 Cal Sidwell versus number 2 Christian Astorga from Brush. So looking forward to that match. Looks like we've got Devin Cox at 215, and Trevin Felice from Eaton. And at 285 pounds, you got Gerardo Quintana from Eaton, and you got Caden Bonilla from Brush, a freshman who had a big win last night himself. He beat a ranked wrestler last night.
13-pound weight class will be the forfeit match from Eaton winner Blake Hawkins.
Okay, looks like we're going to start off at 190. It's a little confusing, so we're going to start off with the bang right away here. As the captains come to the middle, shake hands. We'll see who wins the flip here. But yeah, we're going to start this duel off on a bang because we're going to have number 1 ranked Cal Sidwell versus number 2 ranked Christian Astorga from Brush. So really looking forward to that match, and that's going to be the match that kind of sets the tone for the rest of this duel. So. Looks like Eaton is one choice for the coin flips here in between periods, and we're going to get underway. Cal Sidwell and Christian Astorga. Again, Cal Sidwell is a returning 3rd placer from last year, and I believe Astorga took 5th last year, and he placed the year before as well. So, looking forward to this match. It's going to be an interesting style matchup because Astorga's kind of a crazy wrestler, kind of real hippie and throwy and jerky, and Cal Sidwell's a little bit more of a finesse wrestler, pretty good on his foundation and good on the basics. So, going to be an interesting stylistic matchup here. As Rob Hastings makes his way back up here from track wrestling purgatory. All right, and we're underway here in the first period, Sidwell and Astorga. So again, number 1 versus number 2 right off the bat. So both wrestlers just kind of circling each other. Sidwell kind of does a little throw by here on the shoulders. Now Sidwell trying to come in for underhook, but that's where Astorga wants to be. Now Astorga has kind of working that Russian on the right side. Sidwell breaks out of that. He doesn't want to be there, doesn't feel comfortable there. Both just kind of tapping each other's heads. Really working for mat control here, working for head control. Sidwell gets a little throw by and does a little fake single leg. Astorga didn't really need to defend it, but he was ready for it if Sidwell would have taken the shot. Now Sidwell does another little half-hearted shot here. Now he's going for a little overhook here. Astorga ties him back up, though, right in the middle of the mat, ties him up tight. Now Sidwell's working that Russian tie from the right side on Astorga here, working towards the edge of the mat. Astorga breaks that. Sidwell does not let him circle back, and he kind of shoots him off. Astorga's trying to work back to the center of the mat. Now Sidwell's got that Russian tie again on the left side for Astorga. Astorga's pushing off on the head. What he needs to do is post off and kind of spin around and see if he can jerk that arm out of there, because you do not want to be in this Russian tie. There's just so many things that offensively can go wrong there, and exactly what that happens. So Sidwell kind of pops that up, hits a double leg on Astorga. Astorga falls, but he grabs his ankle on the way by, and there's a little scramble there, but Sidwell does end up on top for the three-point takedown. Now he's got Astorga in big trouble because he's got a bar on the left side. He's got the arm barred on both sides. Now he's working a double chicken wing here on the edge of the mat. The only hope for Astorga here is he can work his way off the mat, and he's not going to do it. He's going to give it some back points, but he's trying to do a good job of fighting this up. But Sidwell gets the pin in the first period. So 1 minute and 53 seconds in the first period. Cal Sidwell over Christian Astorga. And again, that is number 1 versus number 2 in the state.
Wow.
So hopefully Astorga learned some lessons there. But like I said, I knew that was going to be a pretty tough stylistic matchup for Christian. Christian, like I said, Christian likes to wrestle a little bit out of control. Sidwell is a very in-control kind of wrestler. So when Astorga is exposing himself and doing some of the things that Astorga does well, a really good foundational wrestler is going to be able to catch that a lot of times. So kind of what I expected. Sidwell stayed real basic, and his foundations looked good, and was able to catch Astorga there, in that Russian. So hopefully he learns something for this next time. Okay, so up at 2:15, we have Trevin Feliz and Devin Cox from Brush. And I am not sure on Devin Cox's age.
Okay, who's got...
Devin Cox is not on the roster, so I am not sure what year he is. Oh, excuse me. There he is. He's listed at 175 pounds. He's a freshman. Freshman bumping up to 215s here. You got Feliz in on Feliz in on a single leg. Devin does a good job of fighting that off, and now he's going to get a potentially dangerous as Feliz was kind of torquing on Devin Cox's leg there. They're going to come back to center. 1:10 left to go in the first period. 0-0, Tristan Feliz and Devin Cox of Brush. I have not seen Devin Cox in the lineup this year. Have you?
No.
Yep. So I have not seen him wrestle. So it'll be interesting. Interesting first match here. He's a big kid though. If he's a freshman, he is a good-looking kid. Got big legs on him, big arms. Does not look like a freshman body. Now he hits a fireman into a single. Now he's got an outside single. Feliz kind of has a chin whip on him. Devin Cox is trying to half out of that chin whip, and he's going to squirt behind him and get him taken down. He does get him busted down. Now they get into a scramble, and Feliz gets a point for an escape here. So it's going to be 3-1 here. I'm not sure that score's right. So 3-1 is what the scoreboard shows.
Okay.
They must have given Cox that takedown. I did not see them award Cox that point. So he did get the initial takedown, and Feliz does get an escape. So they're going to go both up. So neutral position, 3-1 Cox over Feliz with 8 seconds left to go in the first period here. There's a shot by Eaton's Feliz on Cox. Cox is going to snap them under. They're on the edge of the mat, about 1 second left, and that's where we're going to end the first period. So 3-1 brushes Devin Cox over Tristan Feliz of Eaton heading into the second period here. So Brush's choice, Devin Cox defers over to Feliz of Eaton. Feliz of Eaton is going to take bottom to start the second period here. And Cox is going to go load from the left side. There's the whistle, and we're underway. Feliz stands up immediately off the whistle and does a good job creating space and getting the escape here. So it's going to be 3-2, 1:50 to go in the second period. kind of tied up. Feliz snaps Cox under him. Cox comes back up, back into ear-to-ear tie, working for inside ties here on the left side. Cox again hits a nice little high crotch. Yeah, it was looking like he was going to be a fireman, but he let the arm go, so it turned into a high crotch. Gets Feliz down on the hip. Feliz then bounces back up and kind of ends up on top in this scramble. Now they're still scrambling. They're kind of flopping around, and Feliz is going to end up on top of this scramble for a 3, and Devin Cox kind of exposed himself there, but didn't give up any back points, so it's going to be 5-3. Feliz over Cox with 1:10 left in the second period. As he's working a half Nelson, is Feliz on Cox, and he's got him worked over, and now he's collecting back points, and that's going to be tight. Cox just giving up too much weight, and there is the fall. 3 minutes into the match, a minute left to go in the second period. Eaton's Tristan Feliz over Brush's Devin Cox. Devin looked good there, just I think a little inexperienced, a little mat time, but he's a good-looking kid.
Yeah. That other big guy has done really well, too.
Absolutely.
So,
Okay, so we got Caden Bonilla from Brush and Gerardo Quintana from Eaton, and these are two big boys. I saw Gerardo's weigh-in sheet, and he was 269. And I would say Bonilla is just about all that.
yeah, he's pretty good sized.
Yep, so we're 2 matches in. Eaton's up 12-0 over Brush. And here we underway under the first period. 10 seconds ran off the first period. There's kind of working, trying to work underhooks. It looks like Bonilla, Caden Bonilla is going to want to throw that headlock, kind of like he did last night against the Ray wrestler. But Guardo's going to keep his arms down, so they're just kind of working inside ties here in the middle, just kind of hand fighting. Looks like they're just kind of looks like they're sparring there in the middle. Oh, now Bonilla's got him locked up in a bear hug and goes straight down to Gerardo's back. Gerardo's in big trouble, and there's the fall in 39 seconds for freshman Caden Bonilla over Gerardo Quintana from Eaton, and that's a big match for Brush right there because that puts them back in the match. I'm afraid if they lose that match, this thing might get out of hand real quick, but it's going to be 12-6 Eaton through 3 matches here. We're going to come back to 106 pounds. You got Danny Biggers from Eaton and your number 15 ranked Ian Blake from Brush. I'd like to see Ian wrestle in control tonight. He seems to get up in most matches, and like last night and a couple times before that we've watched him, he seems to get up in most matches and then, just wrestles a little bit out of control and gives up either back points or gives up the fall. So I'd like to see him wrestle in control this match, and let's see if we can get a dominant win out of Ian here.
Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, Ian's in on fireman right away, gets a takedown for 3 right off the whistle, not 10 seconds into the match, and he lets him back up, working for another takedown here, and he shoots an outside sweep to the right side. He's going to get another takedown here, working for an inside cradle, and he's got that cradle locked up. Good job by Ian here. That's going to be tight. He's going to definitely have the takedown and the fall. 22 seconds into the match. Good job by Ian Blake. He needed that. He needed that, and Brush needed that. So 4 matches in, we are split 12-12.
Wow, how about that?
How about that? Now we're going to have 113, number 1 ranked Blake Hawkins from Eaton, and I don't believe Brush has a wrestler at 113s right now. So we're going to take a forfeit here, and Eaton's going to go up 18-12.
120-pound weight class from Eaton, Nate Fetzer.
And in case you're wondering, also got the national semifinal game. We got Ohio State up on Texas 7-0 with 1:52 left to go in the second quarter.
Uh-oh. You got all kinds of things going here.
Multitask. So we got Nate Fetzer from Eaton and Dustin Hernandez from Brush here. Okay, about 15 seconds into the first period, just kind of tying up head to head here. Fetzer gets a shot, reshot by Hernandez. Good shot, but Fetzer's able to kind of hop away from that. Now back to the center here, just kind of working for head control. Looks like Hernandez kind of wants to set up a throw here, set up some sort of snap. Keeps trying to lock up an underhook and lock over the top of it. Coming back to center, still head to head, just working for control, working for some kind of inside control so they can set up something. Now they're working towards the edge of the mat now. Now they're coming back to center. Still head to head. Minute into the first period here. 0-0. All right, Fetzer's finally working some head control on Hernandez. Hernandez then shoots under into an outside single. He's starting to bring it up. Now he's got the outside single up. He's trying to either treep top it, and he ends up doubling it off to a double leg for a three-point takedown. So 46 seconds left to go in the first period, and Brush's Dustin Hernandez is up 3-0 over Fetzer from Eaton. All right. Hernandez trying to work a wrist and a half. Fetzer peels it off. Hernandez is doing a good job of keeping a lot of pressure forward, a lot of pressure on Fetzer's head, rolling a wrist under him, doing a good job staying busy up top here. 20 seconds left to go in the first period. Hernandez needs to stay solid here, not give up any points. Gets a spike in on the right side of Fetzer. 13 seconds left to go in the period here, trying to bust him flat. Still got the leg in, but he's just not stretching him tight. Not stretching him out, but he's kind of working that power half, hanging a little loose on the legs. Still trying to work that power half, and we're going to run out of time here in the first period. So Dustin Hernandez from Brush up 3-0 over Fetzer from Eaton.
Coach Cox out there giving him some.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we got Fetzer with the choice, and Fetzer chooses both up. That's curious since he gave up the takedown there. But Coach Mastari must think that's where he's better at here. So both guys working inside control. Fetzer with the single leg. Hernandez does a good job sprawling. He's working a crossface, trying to chase that ankle. He needs to chase that ankle if he can. He's kind of got a spiral in. Needs to let go of that spiral and chase the ankle. Yep. And Coach Persley saying the same thing, is chase the ankle. Now he's in a little bit of trouble because when you got that spiral in, it doesn't allow you to sprawl as hard. So now Fetzer's got that leg up tight of Hernandez, trying to set him on a hip here. Now Fetzer gets him elevated. He's in deep trouble here. Hernandez needs either body lock or work ankles because Fetzer had him up in the air. Now they're kind of in a scramble position. Fetzer gets his head to the outside. They're right on the edge of the mat. Still no control. If he can get his hips up, I'm afraid if they call him out of bounds here, he's going to call a takedown. But he's going to call a takedown on Fetzer. So it's going to be 3-3. 40 seconds left in the second period. As they work kind of in the center of the mat here, Hernandez is thinking that he's out of bounds, but he's forgetting about the new rules where there's 1 point of contact in. So he was thinking that they're going to be out of bounds. Kind of looking at the ref saying, "Hey, I'm out of bounds here."
Looks like got a little nosebleed going.
Yep, now he does have some blood. Hernandez has some blood here as well. So Coach Cox tell him not to leave his arms out.
Referee up there checking out the nose. Must not have been very much.
Yep, not too much blood. Cut the blood time. Should
Right.
have about 40 seconds left to go in the match here.
Might not be in blood.
Excuse me.
Might-
40 seconds left in the second period. Excuse me, Rob.
Okay.
Right on 40 seconds. So
Hernandez.
Fetzer loads from the left side. Hernandez tries to stand up, but Fetzer does a good job keeping his weight forward. Now, Hernandez is in big trouble. Fetzer's got a bar on him, trying to run it to his head. He's got that far wrist. Hernandez is doing a good job of straightening out his left arm and not allowing him to turn because he was in trouble there for a second. Now Fetzer's got that bar pretty deep again. He needs to work out that wrist and straighten out that arm on that left side. But Fetzer's doing a good job of running that bar right over top of his head. Now he's giving up back points. Fetzer got a 1 count anyways. Now we're counting up points. Did we get 2 count or just a 1?
Probably 2.
No, they're going to say it's just a 1 count. I doubt that Coach Mastari is going to like that call because no back points were given there. So 3-3 heading in third period, and Hernandez chooses both up. So not a lot of mat wrestling. Now Hernandez shoots a double in. Fetzer with the sprawl. Hernandez just kind of hanging there looking for a stalemate. Fetzer's trying to cross-face. He's got that near ankle. Still cross-facing. Now he's got Hernandez in trouble because he's got him down on a hip. He's going to get around him, get the 3. It's going to be 6-3 Fetzer over Hernandez with 1:30 left to go in the third period.
He's giving up back points.
Now he's giving up back points. Yep. Hernandez is kind of laying there, and Fetzer leg whipped him over and scooped his head with that crossface and gave up some cheap back points right there. And he's going to do it again here. He's got him at that 90, not quite at that 45-degree breaking point, but Fetzer's on top trying to get some more back points. Now we're counting 1, 2, 3. So he's got 2 points so far, not letting go of the hold, but he's working for either a 3 or 4 point fall if he can get him for 4 or 5 second hold here. But Fetzer's in dominant position, so a minute left to go in the third period, and he's got Hernandez exposed. Not sure how many back points it's going to be here. Ref's holding up 4, so it's going to be 4 back points here once he lets go of this move here.
Referee's got 5 out there. Hasn't given it up yet.
Yeah, I don't understand why he's not, because he definitely does not have the same hold. So there he goes. Now he's going to give him the 4 points. So it's going to be 10-3 with 25 seconds left to go in the match. Fetzer over Hernandez now. And Hernandez is just kind of laying on the mat. Now he's going to give up. Now he's going to give up that arm. So he's got to do a good job of not giving up back points here in the last 10 seconds of the match, because we don't want to give up a major decision. It could be the decisive factor here in this duel. Don't want to give up extra points. We got 5 seconds left. He's got to fight this bar off. Fetzer's working a bar on the left side. He's going to run out of time. It's going to be a 7-point match, so no major. But still, we got Nate Fetzer of Eaton over Brush's Dustin Hernandez, 10-3. And that's going to run the score up to 21-12 Eaton. Now we got Joseph Ensley from Eaton against freshman Jonathan Potts from Brush.
Okay. At 126 here.
All right, let's see if we can get Jonathan looking good here tonight. All right, and we're underway here in the first period. Ensley from Eaton and Potts from Brush. Potts working for inside tie. Kind of slapped a fake little outside single. Didn't really commit to it, though. Now, Potts needs to do a better job of keeping his arms down when he shoots. He's going to get thrown that cow catcher, which he did, but he's able to slip out of it. Now he drops down to a double leg. Kind of got Ensley elevated. Now he's got Ensley on a hip, and he's worked that far leg around if he can. Now he's got Ensley elevated again, but Ensley doing a good job of defending by grabbing those ankles when he gets up in the air. Potts still has him in trouble, though. If Potts can get his leg out and get around Ensley, he's going to get this takedown. And he's working. He needs to cut that corner. Cut that corner if you can there, Jonathan. Slip that arm out and crawl up. He needs to slip the arm out of the legs and crawl up the waist. Slip the arm out slip it up. No. Now Ensley gets a belly lock on him and rolls him through. Now Ensley's on top in a dominant position. Potts kind of gets in on a single again. Ensley's sprawling. Potts is a strong kid for a freshman. I'm excited about his future, that's for sure. Potts still has a single leg, but he kind of lets it go, gives up on that single, and Ensley's going to spin around there for the 3-point takedown. So 35 seconds left in the first period, and Ensley from Eaton's going to go up 3-0 over Jonathan Potts at Brush.
Potts having a little trouble down there.
Yeah, Ensley's a little bit taller than he is, and he's got that cradle locked up on the far side, but Ensley's not jumping across. Now he's going to jump across, and he's going to try a suicide, but Jonathan Potts gets an arm stuck out there, and he blocks that suicide cradle. Now he's going to have a reversal, and he's got Ensley in big trouble. He's got him in a half. Now he's got a 5 count, so he's definitely going to have a reversal and 4 back points, and he almost has the fall there at the end of the first period. So it is going to be 6-3, Jonathan Potts over Ensley from Eaton. Joseph Ensley from Eaton.
Still holding 6-3 up on the board there.
Yep.
The official was they're going to come over and check it out.
Well, it should be a 2-point reversal and a 4-point near fall, so it should be 6-3. Yep, they got it. They had it right.
I'm glad he's a referee.
Okay, and Eaton's going to defer. En's going to defer to Potts. And Potts is going to choose both up. So here we go, 6-3, starting out the second period. Jonathan Potts over Joseph Ensley. Potts in on a double leg immediately, has Ensley on a hip. He's got the three-point takedown. Tries to stay in between the legs, but can't stay in between the legs, but he's going to get that three, so it's going to be 9-3 Potts with 1:45 left to go in the second period. And Potts is doing a good job. He's got a nice tight crossface all the way pushed across. Now he's working for that bundle of arms. Ensley comes up. Potts got the cradle locked up, but he needs to jump across to the other side because Ensley's going to pop his head out, and he's going to pop his head out, and now he's got Potts in a cradle, and Potts breaks that, so it ends up just being one for Ensley.
Oh, no.
And Ensley ankle picks Potts down to the ground there, so he gets a three-point takedown, so it's going to be 9-7 Potts over Ensley with 1:13 left to go in the second period here. That was a crazy little scramble there.
No. That's a freshman.
Yep,
And,
Potts.
Oh, he's right for a tackle.
Yep, Potts stands up and right immediately in on a double leg on the edge of the mat. He cuts it back. Ensley has his ankle, but if he can get that ankle free, Potts is going to end up with another takedown here. And he's going to end up with another takedown there on the edge of the mat. Good job by Jonathan Potts with the takedown on the edge of the mat. Now he's working another crossface. Needs to jump across this time and get that cradle. Jump across and get that cradle. Now pull him back, Jonathan. There you go. Ensley's able to break that, but it's going to be 13-7. Jonathan Potts with 30 seconds left to go in the second period as they go out of bounds. Holy moly.
Talked to his dad last night.
Yeah, Gary's a good guy.
Yeah, he's about your age.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
in our peewees like you were.
Gary does a lot of work for us, actually.
Oh, does he?
Yep, he owns GNC Welding, Potts Welding.
Out there in Hillrose.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Ensley with the stand-up. 20 seconds left to go in the second period. Ensley's going to get a point, so it's going to be 13-8. 20 seconds left to go in the second period. Now Ensley, again, tries that ankle pick. Potts is able to stop him. Now Ensley throws him. They get in a throwing situation. Ensley hits that quarter turn and throws Potts down, so he's going to get a three-point takedown. It's going to be 13-11. He's got Potts in a little bit of trouble. Potts is able to belly back out. Short time left in the second period. Got 5 seconds left in the second period, and Jonathan needs to hang on here, get regrouped for the third period here, and he's going to. That was a high-scoring second period. We're going to be 13-11. Jonathan Potts over Joseph Ensley, heading here into the third period, and Ensley's going to choose down.
JJ must be his coach. He's over there.
Is he over there working up? Yeah. All right, Potts loose from the left side. Gets Ensley bust down. Good job by Jonathan Potts busting him down. He really likes to work that crossface. He's got that crossface pushed across tight. Still working the crossface. He needs to push that arm across. Kind of throws a crossface. Ensley ducks it. Ensley looks pretty content with just kind of laying around here. If Potts can take advantage of him being lackadaisical here, and he does, he's got that cradle locked up. Potts locks up a crossface cradle, and that is tight. And he gets the pin. Gets the pin. 4 minutes and 30 seconds in the match. 31 seconds left, or excuse me, 1:29 left in the third period. Jonathan Potts gets the fall over Joseph Ensley of Eaton. Great match, Jonathan. And that's a big pin for Brush because that puts us back 18-21. Brush is 3 points behind Eaton. Heading into the 132-pound match. We got 9th ranked Eli Bararza from Brush. And we have
Who do we have up there?
I'm not sure who.
26.
Oh, that Firestein. Firestein from Eaton, the kid with the mask. And immediately, Bararza with a nice little arm drag right into a single leg, gets a takedown for 3. So 15 seconds gone in the first period, and Eli Bararza is already working up 3-0. Bararza doing a good job of keeping a lot of pressure in. Looks a little frustrated because the Eaton wrestler's just kind of bellying down. Needs to just be patient here. These things will come. The Eaton wrestler's balled up. Now he's got a half. He's working a half. Got the far wrist, and he's got the Eaton kid in trouble. But oh man, Eaton kid does a good job of peeling that half around the edge of the mat there. He was in deep trouble there for a second. Now he's got that outside tilt locked up. He's got him loaded up, and they head out of bounds. Good job by Eli Bararza. So we got 3-0 Barraza over Firestein from Eaton with 1:07 left in the first period. Barraza loads from the left side. Firestein hits a little sit out, leaves his arm up, and he gets a bar on that left side. Got to keep it legal. Now he's got a half and a bar in. That's going to get tight if he can get it. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's an illegal. Yeah, he needs to, if he's going to, excuse me, if he's going to run that bar in half, he's got to keep that bar at a 90 on that side. And he really came up, I mean, he came up and blocked that shoulder, so he's going to give up a technical violation for an illegal hold. So going to give a point here. It's going to be 3-1 with 51 seconds left in the first period still.
The official giving him a little.
Yep, giving a little
Advice, huh?
advice there. It was a good idea by Barraza. Just wasn't able to keep his outside the arm that he had the bar on at 90 degrees there. Feinstein with the stand up. Barraza follows him. He's got that bar again on the left side, but he's going to keep it locked. He needs to work that arm to his head. Feinstein does a good job of breaking that lock. Now they're going to come back to referee's position, and they're going to head out of bounds with 33 seconds left in the first period. All right, now we're back to center. 33 seconds left. 3-1 Barraza. Feinstein hits a stand-up. Barraza returns him back to the mat with prejudice. Nice little head thump there.
Yeah, I heard it from here.
Nice little head thump there, and Barraza is doing a good job of staying active. Now he's got that arm blocked, and he's got the left arm, the left arm up on the Eaton wrestler's back, and that Eaton wrestler's in big trouble. Now he's got that half, and he's got that bar again. He keeps it legal this time. He's going to get some back points here for sure. He's got 3 seconds left. He's not going to get the fall, but we're going to get 4 back points.
Oh, it was close. He hit the pin.
Yep, gave him 4 back points there at the end of the first period. Good job by Eli there, getting those points there at the end of the first period. So he's going to be up 7-1, heading into the second period over Firestein of Eaton. And again, Eli's ranked 9th. I haven't seen him wrestle in a duel yet this year either. I don't know how many matches he has this year, but he's looking good right now.
Keep it up, yep.
Barraza takes top, blows from the left side. Firestein hits a little stand-up. Barraza follows him, gets him back flat again. A lot of pressure. Man, he's putting a lot of pressure on his head. He's got his forearm in the back of Feinstein's head there, putting a lot of pressure forward, making the Eaton wrestler carry his weight. That's gonna drain him by the end of the match for sure. Barraza jumps across. He gets a half in on the left side. Feinstein fights that off, comes back up to referee's position. Barraza trying to lock in a leg here. He's got both legs locked in, but his hips on the mat. Needs to finish with his hips up. Now he's got a power half locked in there. Needs to punch the mat. And scoot his hips out. Now he's getting some back points. All right, now he's got his back points. He needs to finish with his hips on top. Coaches are calling for him to finish with his hips on top. Work for that fall. Yep, now he's scooting around. Now he's trying to get his hips on top, and he does get his hips on top, and that's getting real tight because that's about a Saturday Night Live, and there's the fall. There is the fall, 3 minutes and 4 seconds into the match. Eli Barraza, your number 9 ranked wrestler from Brush, with the fall over Feinstein from Eaton. And that's going to put Brush ahead 24-21.
All right. Okay.
Heading into the 138-pound match.
Axton Haswell, is he going to be there?
No, Axton's sick today, so we got Alazar Acosta is filling in for Axton today against the number 5 ranked wrestler from Eaton, Ethan Deal.
Okay, he's going to be going up a weight.
Yeah, and you can see it. The Eaton wrestler is much larger than Alazar is. Just kind of manhandle him around right now. He's got a cradle. Ethan Deal got the cradle locked up kind of on the edge of the mat, though. Alazar's doing a good job of defending that off, and they end up in a scramble position, head out of bounds. It's going to be neutral position, 1:35 left in the first period. Heading back to the center of the mat. Now we're underway again. Yeah, the size difference notable. Now Ethan Deal's in on a single leg, has Barraza down on, or excuse me, not Barraza, Alazar Acosta down on the hip and gets the 3-point takedown. So it's going to be 3-0, 1:15 left in the first period here. Ethan Deal over Alizar Acosta. Again, Brush is in the lead heading into this match, 24-21 team score wise. Alizar just kind of balled up under there, and Ethan doesn't know quite how to handle that because he's not really giving up arms, not giving up legs, just kind of staying in the ball. Got to be careful though, staying there. Give up a stall warning here, but now Barraza is trying that 3/4. He's got a lot of pressure on that head.
Oh, he's got a penalty.
Yeah, I think he called a full Nelson there, but I didn't think it was one, but I must not have saw the other arm in there. So Barraza is going to get they awarded a penalty point to Ethan Deal. Not sure what Alizar Acosta did there, but they awarded a penalty point to the Eaton wrestler. 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Ethan Deal up over Alizar Acosta, 4-0. Now Ethan Deal's got one leg in, starting to stretch out Acosta, and man, you can just see the strength difference here. But good job, Acosta. He's got Ethan Deal high. Ethan's got both legs in, but Alizar was tripoded up. If he could have just shook him down a little bit, he'd have been in real good position. But Ethan Deal's able to get both those legs in and stretch him back out. Now he's got a half put on Acosta, but there's going to be short time, and that's where the period's going to end. It's 4-0. Ethan Deal over the top of Alizar Acosta heading in the second period here. We got Eaton choice. Eaton defers. Deal defers to Alizar Acosta, and Acosta's going to choose both up. Interesting. Ethan Deal kind of working him over as we're underway here in the second period. Just kind of tying up here. Ethan Deal wants to shoot that outside single, trying to get that set up here. Alizar just trying to hang on here. Now Ethan Deal's got an underhook on the right side, and ankle picked him on the left side. He's gonna get a 3-point takedown there on the edge of the mat, then a potentially dangerous because he had his knee pinned up top there. So it's going to be 7-0 Ethan Deal over Alizar Acosta. 1:35 left in the second period. Now we didn't get a caution. I'm not sure what the ref's talking about to the boys, but we're getting ready to get back underway. Deal loads from the left side. Acosta kind of hits a little half-hearted switch to the right. Deal follows. Deal's putting pressure in front of Acosta. Acosta tripods up, but Deal gets both legs in. Alizar Acosta does a celly roll, but that celly roll, he didn't clear his hips, and he almost ended up in big trouble on his back there. Ethan Deal is able to calm the situation down, gets both legs back in, and gets settled in. But this would be huge if Alizar can stay at a major or just not get pinned here. It's going to bode really well for the team score here coming up because, this is a little bit of a mismatch. You got a kid who's normally wrestling JV for Brush, and you got the number 5 ranked wrestler who was a returning state placer from last year. So Alizar's doing a good job of doing what he needs to do for his team right now. But you got Deal who's got both legs in. Now he's kind of got crossface, trying to scoop that and get some cheap points there. Alizar's doing a good job of not giving up. Now he's got Deal's leg. They're kind of in a crab position here. Deal's going to power half him over. Man, he just kind of horsed him over there, and Alizar's in big trouble right now. He is in big trouble. Deal with the half. Now he's finishing up top, and his hips are up top, and he's got the squeeze on him. That's going to be a fall for Ethan Deal over Alizar Acosta. 3 minutes and 47 seconds into the match. So 13 seconds left to go in the third period, and Alizar Acosta gives up the fall to Ethan Deal from Eaton.
But he did a good job.
He did. Just got out-horsed there. Under. Yeah, just got out-horsed. Like I said, the Deal kid's a good kid. That's going to go ahead and put Eaton back up 27-24. But now we got our defending state champion, Nick Dardanis, up. And I expect this to be a mismatch as well over Braden Eddy from Eaton. So Nick coming off that huge win last night over Austin Collins. Again, I apologize for calling that wrong last night. I couldn't hear who was announced, but two of the better wrestlers in state going at it last night, and Nick comes out on top. So, we're underway here in the first period. About 10 seconds gone through, and they're just kind of staying in the center there. Nice single leg, high crotch single leg by Nick Dardanis, and he gets a 3-point takedown, cuts Eddie. So it's 3-1, 1:40 left in the first period. Nick Dardanis working his shots. Now he's working a snap. He spins around. He's going to get another 3-point takedown. Let's see if he rides him out or if he lets him up here. It's going to be 6-1. He's going to let him up again. 1:20 left in the first period. Nick's looking good. Nick shoots in on a double leg, finishes that double leg. Another 3 points for Nick. So it's going to be 9-2. 1:10 seconds left in the first period. See if Nick tries to turn him here or what he wants to do here. He's working that claw. Really good job of working that claw in spiral. Gets Eddie broken down. Now he's looking to work a pin combination. Now he hits a pick and step and he's getting points. I think he's got a 2 count right this second. Now he's getting more. He's getting more because he's got that telephone Turk. He's got a crossface and he's got that far ankle and he's bringing that ankle up to his head. Call a telephone Turk because it looks like the kid's talking on the phone with his foot.
There's the pin.
And Nick gets the fall. 1:18 into the first period. Nick Dardanis over Braden Eddy from Eaton. So that's going to put Brush up 30-27, heading into the 150-pound match, where we'll see Percy Odell.
Okay.
Excuse me, 150-pound weight class. Yep. So Percy Odell versus Braden Betzworth. Need a big win here from Perce.
Okay.
Again, Brush up 31-27. Here we go, underway in the first period. Braden Betzworth and Percy Odell. Percy kind of fakes a shot. Betzworth has a reshot. Whoa, Betzworth's that stout kid from that last match. Kind of some extracurricular activity there after the whistle, after they go out of bounds, kind of threw Percy off the mat there. They come back to center in neutral position. Percy looking for some openings. They're just kind of hand fighting. Again, Betzworth, real stout, strong kid. Percy's a little bit taller than Betzworth. Betzworth definitely a little thicker.
Yeah. Betzworth went state last year but didn't place.
Okay.
Oh, and he's on top.
Yep. Snapped Percy under him and was able to spin around for that takedown. So it's going to be 3-0 Braden Betzworth over Percy Odell. 1:15 seconds left to go in the first period here.
Of course, Betzworth had to wrestle with Royce Urick.
Yeah, that's a tough weight class right there.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping to see Royce wrestle. I went and watched Fort Hays wrestle in a tournament a couple weekends ago, and Adam State was there, but Royce did not make the trip with the Adam State team. I don't know if he was hurt or what he had going on, but I was hoping to get to see him wrestle.
Yeah, he's too young to be that old.
That's right. That's right.
Lost his grandpa. That's been tough.
I did not know that. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Prayers to the family. All right, Percy Betzworth just riding the heck out of him with the tight waist. Now he's got a crossface on him. Got Percy flat on the mat. Percy's doing a good job of bringing his hips back up. But Betzworth a strong kid. He's got a little attitude to him when he wrestles. He throws that crossface and he throws it hard. Percy hits a little sit out and they head out of bounds with 15 seconds left to go in the first period. Percy Odell down to Braden Betzworth 3-0. Betzworth's going to load from the left side, and we're going to have a caution on Betzworth. He kind of load a little hard there. Yeah, he wrestles with some attitude. He load a little hard there, knocked Percy off his base. Coach Cameras, though, was going to argue that caution, but ref didn't see him in time. Percy goes to hit a stand-up. Betzworth gets in between his legs and almost picks and steps him over the top for a return. Percy landed pretty hard there. I was a little afraid that he might get a little dinged up there, but does a good job finishing out that period without giving up any other points here. So we're going to be down 3-0 Percy Odell to Braden Betzworth. Betzworth's going to defer to Percy Odell. Percy Odell is going to go neutral again. So here we go, neutral, 3-0 heading in the second period. Percy with a little shot. He's got a little fireman's carry in there. Now he lost that arm. They come back to center. Betzworth with the shot. Percy defends that shot. come back to center, hand fighting. Percy doing a good job right there of working his head over, looking for an angle. Percy kind of hits a half shot. I wish he would have followed through with that because he was in pretty deep, but he stopped about halfway through. Now Bettesworth's got a front headlock on him. He's trying to chase that ankle for a takedown here. Percy's got to do a better job of staying up on his base, but he gives up that another 3-point takedown to Bettesworth of Eaton. So he's down 6-0. Minute 15 seconds left to go here in the second period. Bettesworth's doing a good job of rolling those wrists under, keeping Percy flat on the mat. Like I said, Bettesworth's a big, strong kid here. Oh, throws a nice crossface from right field there. Right across the bridge of the nose for Percy Odle. Now, but Percy catches it and gets his arm up tight, got his arm over his head. He's got Bettesworth in trouble. Oh, if he can get a half in here. Doesn't get the half, but he is able to get around for a 2-point reversal, so it's going to be 6-2, and Percy's going to cut him, so it's going to be 7-2, 40 seconds left here in the second period. Both wrestlers come back to center. Bettesworth's looking for a little blast double, it looks like to me. Percy gets a shot, kind of, again, a half shot. Bettesworth stops that shot, and he's in a dominant front headlock position here. Percy's sitting on his knees here. He needs to work to improve that position because Bettesworth's going to just chase that ankle like he's done the last 2 times here. And he does it again, chases the ankle, gives up another 3-point takedown there. So it's going to be 10-2, 10 seconds left in the second period. Percy Odle is going to be down to Bettesworth of Eaton.
And Bettesworth's pretty good putting his forehead and banging it.
Yeah,
on the
like
back.
I said, he wrestles with a little attitude. I like the way he wrestles. He wrestles with a little attitude. He's kind of out physical in Percy right now, and Percy just needs to hang on here. It's 8-2. We need to find a way to get some points here, get this out of the major category. Bettesworth's going to choose down to start the third period again. Odle down 2-10 heading into the third period here over losing to Braden Bettesworth. Bettesworth hits a little switch to a sit out, then he stands up, and Percy kind of lets him go. So it's going to be 11-2, minute 50 left in the third period as they head back to center here. Hand fighting. Kind of locked up on the hands. Bettesworth's looking for that opening. Percy's been in on a couple really nice shots, and he's in on another nice shot, but he's just not finishing that single leg. Now he's in on fireman's carry, and he tips him over the top. But he's not. He needed to sink that head in there, but he ends up with the 3, which is great, but gosh darn, he had a heck of an opportunity to get some back points there, but does a good job cutting this lead to 6 points as they get rolled out of bounds here. So Percy Odle is going to cut into this lead, so it's going to be 5-11. Bettesworth over Odle. Minute 14 left in the third period. Odle's going to load from the left side, and we're going to get a caution on Percy. Going to say his hand wasn't on his belly button. Percy's going to load from the left side again, and we're underway here. Minute and 10 seconds left to go in the third period. And Percy's got him broke down. He's trying to work a bar in on that left side. Bettesworth seems pretty content with not scoring many more points here. He's just kind of laying there right this second. If Percy's going to let him up here. That was a good move. I'd have done the same thing, let him up and see what happens here. Percy's going to get in on another fireman. He's got that tilt in there if he can. He needs to pop out that right arm and really suck down on that left arm shoulder here. See if he can put Bettesworth on a hip. But he lets go of that arm, and Bettesworth's going to milk him through for another takedown off that front headlock. Spun around him, got the 3. So it's going to be 15-5 with 30 seconds left in the third period. Percy needs really work here to get an escape here and see if we can get a takedown and get this major off the table here. But Bettesworth's going to work for a tilt. Percy does a good job rolling through that tilt, or defending the tilt anyways. Percy gets an arm and rolls him through. Oh man, he had Bettesworth on his hip there for a second, but Percy was just not able to create that space he needed. And there's going to be short time here, and that's where we're going to kind of end the match here. It's going to be 15-5. Braden Bettesworth over Percy Odle of Brush. Good job by Percy not giving up there, but sure like to see him not give up a major.
157-pound weight class from Eaton, Paxton, Pettinger.
So we're going to be all tied up, 31-31. Headed into the 157-pound match, and we got Paxton Pettinger and Landon Poss. So again, another little bit of a mismatch here for Eaton. as we got the 5th-ranked Pettinger over wrestling Poss. And here, right in the beginning of the first period, Poss is in trouble because Pettinger is in on a nice double leg and gets him taken down right on the edge of the mat here. Now he's working 20 seconds into the first period. Poss is down 3-0 to Pettinger from Eaton. I believe Pettinger is a state place from last year as well.
Let's take a look at that.
Now,
Yeah, you're right. He was 6.
Yep, it's another 6th placer from Eaton. So, yeah, just a little bit outsourced here for Poss probably, but hopefully Poss can hang on here and keep the match close enough where we're not chasing falls and chasing tech falls here the next handful of matches. But Pettinger's got a bar on him, bar on the right side. He's got that wrist blocked off to the left. He's trying to work that shoulder over the top of his head, and it looks like he's gonna get it done. But Poss is double jointed. Holy moly! He's got that arm up over his head, and he is not giving up his back. He's doing a really good job there of staying really flexible. And ooh,
yeah, the official was. I thought he should have been there a little quicker.
yeah, I thought so too. And Pettinger kind of popped it forward and looked like he might have popped Poss's shoulder a little bit, but Poss is good to go. Heading back to center, it's still going to be 3-0 Pettinger over Poss with 47 seconds left to go in the first period. Now we got some blood for Poss.
It's on his forehead, it looks like.
Yeah, I can't tell where he's bleeding
It's a
from.
little rough out there.
Yeah. I don't know if it happened. Maybe his knee hit the head or something like that when he was running that chicken wing there. But Poss is definitely double jointed because that was looking like that was not going to be a good situation for Lannon, a good situation for Brush because it looked like Pettinger was going to get some back points there. But Poss did a good job of staying tough and kind of disjointing his shoulder, honestly, just a little bit. And Pettinger kind of slipped through, which led to the potentially dangerous call.
Yeah, and it is 1010 KSIR, Brush Fort Morgan, Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm a little late.
Oh, you're good.
We'll try to keep it going. It's been rolling pretty fast here.
It has been rolling fast. And
Thanks goodness we don't have school tomorrow.
they got Marla, the athletic trainer, working on Poss. It looks like we're going to cut blood time. Nope, he's still bleeding a little bit, or they're just cleaning him up here. Marla Tappy, a longtime trainer for Brush, who also serves as the athletic director.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. I was wondering if that was her.
Yep.
I've heard it.
And actually,
Heard of
her and I are related for way back in our Belgian side.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So that'd be my grandpa's cousin.
Cool.
All right. Well, now we're underway here. 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Pettinger's got that bar on the right side again. Now he's trying to work a half on the left. Now he's got that bar on the right. Oh, that's got to stay 90. He cannot come up and grab that shoulder like that. That has got to be potentially dangerous. Ref does not call it, but they go out of bounds. Luckily, Poss is tough. He's real tough on that, especially defending the chicken wing there. He's, like I said, he's double jointed or something because his arms keep coming out.
He's pretty tough.
Nope. And we're going to cut blood time. Yep. He's bleeding from his forehead, but he's going to wipe it off, and we're going to get back out there. As he rolls out his shoulders, and I don't blame him. His shoulders have been up over his head all match long so far. Got 10 seconds left in the first period. Pettinger over Poss, 3-0. Poss hits a little Granby roll. Pettinger follows. Got short time, 5 seconds left in the first period. Poss trying to tripod up and needed knee slide out of there, create some space, but just couldn't get it done. So we're going to end the period 3-0. Pettinger over Poss heading into the second period. And again, Brush and Eaton are tied up 31-31 the duel.
We still got some more blood.
Got some blood, and it's going to be Eaton's choice here once we get the blood cleaned up. And we got Marla working on that again. All right, well, stay connected with the Eastern Colorado Plains Sports Network on all social media platforms. Follow at Eastern Plains Network on Facebook and Instagram, and at Eastern Plains SN on X or Twitter for those old people for games we're covering, pictures from ones we're at, and links to our page. So even when we're not on there, we're keeping you engaged as a fan. Give the Eastern Colorado Sports page a like, follow, and subscription on all social media platforms today. All right, and we're back underway. And Pettinger gets a reversal right off the bat. So 10 seconds into the second period, and Pettinger gets a reversal. So it's going to be 5-0. Paxton Pettinger over Poss. And again, he's got that arm just up in the air, and Pettinger works a potentially dangerous call there. His arms are definitely double jointed. So we're in minute 39. Poss down 5-0. Pettinger loads from the right side. Poss hits a stand up, fighting the hands. Pettinger drops down to a double leg, and they're going to take him down out of bounds. Poss has 1 point of contact in. Good job by Pettinger keeping him in the mat there. Now Pettinger's working for a tilt, and he's got Poss in a little bit of trouble, giving up some back points. Gave up 1 swipe. I don't think he gave up 2 though. He did not give up 2. So good job by Poss bellying out of that tilt attempt by Pettinger. And good job by Poss not giving up these back points, because he's given up a lot of single counts, but these back points haven't come easy for Pettinger. Now Pettinger's got the leg in. He whips it over. He's looking for a crossface, and he's got that crossface on, and he's got it in tight. Pettinger's on top, and about a 90-degree angle. Now we're getting some back points on Poss here. We got a 3 count. And he rolls him back through. Good job by Poss bellying down. And again, the ref's holding up 3 points, but they're not awarded yet, and it's not the same move. So I don't know why he's not awarding those points, but now Poss is in a little bit of trouble as he's giving up a half on the left side, but he does a really good job of defending whatever's on his shoulders. But now Pettinger gets that half, and he gets the fall. That was a quick fall. Wow.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Quick fall call. So we're 2 minutes and 38 seconds into the match. We get the fall. So we got Paxton Pettinger with the fall over Landon Poss of Brush. Okay. Well, now we're down 6, and we got Austin Lay up to the mat, and kind of in this situation last night. So we got number 3 ranked Austin Lay versus Dakota Lanning from Eaton, and immediately lays on a low single, has Lanning on his butt, gets a 3-point takedown. So 10 seconds in the match, lays up 3-0 over Lanning from Eaton. Need a pin here from Austin, and I'm sure he knows that. He's got a nice tight crossface. Was going to work the pick and step. Now he's just trying to work him down, trying to work the pick and step again. Still has that crossface nice and tight. Now he's going to let him up, and we're going to go from neutral position. So 3-1, a minute 30 to go in the first period. Austin Lay over Dakota Lanning from Eaton. Lays in on a nice double leg, straight down to the ground, got him on his hip, got the 3-point takedown, so it's going to be 6-1, a minute 15 seconds left to go in the first period, and we'll see if Lay lets him up or see if he's going to try working some near fall points here. Lay's trying to push that crossface across. Now he's got that head and the shoulder, got his wrist back up on his body. He's got that arm blocked off. Lay in a dominant position. Now he's going to roll over the top of him, throw a leg in. He's going to scoop that head, get some back points off of this move. I loved this move when I was wrestling. Got the arm on the back. Got the arm on the back. Now he's got a half in. That half is tight, and he's got that far wrist, and he is looking forward to end the match, and he does end the match.
Chest to chest there.
Chest to chest, and awful tight.
So
Minute and
we're tied up again.
21 seconds into the first period. Austin Lay with the fall over Dakota Lanning. All tied up, 37-37.
Up next, 175-pound weight class from Ethan Cooper Morgan. And for your meat diggers, Richie.
Okay, and it's going to come down to Richie Bruno and Cooper Morgan. So Richie Bruno, your returning state champion, ranked number 2 at 175 with the match tied up 37-37. Heading into the last match, and Bruno's immediately on an outside single and straight to Cooper's back. So he's going to get the 3-point takedown, but I thought that the ref counted out 2 points, but apparently he did not have a two count there. So we're just going to have a 3-point takedown, a minute 40 to go in the first period. And again, Richie Bruno wins this match. Brush wins the duel over Eaton, and he loads up a nice tilt. Nice tilt. He's going to get his points. He's going to come back. He's got 4 points loaded up. lets it go. So it's going to be 7-0 with 1:20 to go in the first period. Now Bruno's going to get a half. He's got that far wrist. He needs to get out there and run it. Still got the half. I'd like him. Oh, now he redirects that half, moves that opposite arm, and that's going to be tight, and he's going to work for the fall there right on the edge of the mat. He's going to get the fall.
Yes.
Going to get the fall 52 seconds into the first period, and Brush is going to win this duel. Brush is going to win this duel 43-37. Wow. Talk about the comeback kids 2 nights in a row. Good job by the Hammers for Brush, doing what they need to do, getting the fall the last two matches of the duel, get the fall to go up over Eaton 42-37 over the number 4 ranked team in the state.
Wow. No, we got one more.
Got one more, the number 8 ranked team in the state. Res Christian will be the next duel, but again, good job by Brush's Hammers, and good job by some of the kids who are maybe overmatched. You know, not all of them gave up falls. A lot of them gave up, some of them were major decisions, some of them weren't. But good job not giving up the fall so that they had the opportunity to win that thing at the end. And they did what they needed to do, and Brush comes out on top 42-37.
So let's head back to headquarters for a little while on 1010 KSIR, Brush Fort Morgan. Wow, here on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We'll see if the girls are still there. Thank you for that little break, and it's awesome. And wow, 1010 KSIR, that is awesome. Let's talk about that. 1010 KSIR, Brush Fort Morgan, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. And Travis Lefevre.
No, thank you, Rob. Yeah, it's been a great night so far, and 1010 does such a good job of covering all the local sports. We're so blessed to have a local radio station that's covering Beat Digger Wrestling and all Beat Digger sports. So shout out to 1010 KSR for putting that together for all the sports. I always love listening to whoever's on.
It's great. And, so we're just about ready for the third one.
Yeah, so we got Brush and Res Christian. So again, Res Christian's ranked 8th in the state, and they came out with there's a little bit of scoring dispute from the last one. It's either 34-29 or 40-29. The scorers weren't quite sure, but Res was over the top of Eaton in their duel. So I'm expecting a really good duel here tonight too. And I think there's going to be a little bit of gamesmanship being played on Coach Cox's part. We'll see who he ends up sending out as they're announcing everybody now, but we'll see who he actually sends out to wrestle some of these guys, because there's going to be some mismatch, especially in those upper weights. 215 and 275 for Res Christian are both ranked number 1 in the state. And do you know, Rob, were these kids placers last year, I'm assuming, from Res Christian?
Okay, we got at 126, Sinkard was second.
Yep, that was his brother. Okay, yep.
Okay.
Max Lozano's not wrestling.
Oh, no. But we got Ethan Goldfan at 175, which placed third.
And he graduated. How about,
Was he?
Yeah, how
I
about
didn't
next?
do a very good job of that, did
That's
I?
okay. There we go. Isaiah Johnson, who's our 215-pounder for Res Christian, placed second last year. He's 32-4 as a junior. Placed second last year. Lost to John Opakowski from Centaurus. So lost in the state championship last year. And you got Samuel Stockton, was 9-1, must have been hurt most of the year. But he also placed second. He was at 215s, and Isaiah Johnson was at 190s. Now the two of them are ranked number 1 at 215 in heavyweights.
Wow. Then, of course, we got the Beat Diggers there, too, from last year. Nick Dardanis, champion at 132. Tanner Ludgate was 6, but
He's in flight school now.
Is he what?
He's in flight school. He's going to be a pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. I didn't hear that. I'll have to ask him.
Absolutely.
He goes to our church. So. And then, of course, Austin Lay, he placed third.
Yeah.
He's up there. Richie Bruno, champion. And we get up to 190 pounds. Christian Astorga was 5th.
Yep.
So he's a placer. And so now I think we got the higher weights is pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, looks like we're starting out at 275. So we're going to have Samuel Stockton again, returning runner-up for Res Christian, was 9-1 last year, so he's undefeated going into the state. His only loss was in the state finals last year, and he's going to be going up. Oh, excuse me. Isaiah Johnson's going to be up, and Brush is not going to send out a wrestler, so Isaiah Johnson is going to get a forfeit. So again, returning runner-up for Resurrection Christian is going to get a forfeit, so Res is going to go up 6-0 here right off the bat.
What kind of deal is that?
Now we got Sam Stockton, again ranked first, and he must have wrestled this Champion Dias from Mullen, because Champion Dias is returning state champion at heavyweights last year in 3A. And Samuel Stockton is ranked ahead of him right now. And he is going against our freshman, Caden Bonilla. And Caden Bonilla has some crazy matches in the last couple matches. And he's out there and he wants to throw, man. He is locked up all the time, but Stockton is just too darn big. too darn big, and just bear hugs him down, picks him up off the mat. That's 270 pounds that Stockton just picked off the mat. And he's got him in deep trouble and a half Nelson there right on the edge of the mat. Definitely got the 3-point takedown. Now he's working for the fall here on the edge of the mat. And that's going to be tight. That is tight. Feel sorry for Caden Bonilla there, man. That was a mismatch. Samuel Stockton's a good-looking kid. I would bet he's probably 6'4", 250. He's a good-looking. I bet he goes and plays football somewhere if I had to take a guess. As Rez has a heck of a football team as well. So Red's going to go up 12-0 through two matches here. And now we got Ian Blake, again ranked 15th in the state. Had a really nice match last time. Did a good job of staying in control. And if he can stay in control, he's going to win some matches. And I expect him to win this match against Winston Schumacher from Rez. So hopefully Ian can stay in control here. And right away he's in on a fireman. Finishes that fireman. Gets a 3-point takedown 6 seconds into the match. He's got a bar locked up on the right side. Schumacher does a good job standing up. Ian does a good job cutting him back, and he's going to come back almost into a tilt. Schumacher bellies down, but Ian still has that.
Uh-oh. Got a penalty there.
Yeah, I didn't hear what the ref said, but he had a bar on the right side, and I didn't see where his hand was on the other side, so I didn't see what the violation was. But Ian's going to give up a point for an illegal hold, so it's going to be 3-1. A minute 30 left to go in the first period as Schumacher hits a stand-up. Ian's following him. He needs to return him down to the mat, and he does return him down to the mat, so he avoids that stall call there. Now he's got that 2-on-1 worked on again. He's working that inside tilt, and he's got him tilted up. He's got him loaded up, and he's getting back points right now. He's got at least 2 back points, I believe. I thought I saw the ref count off 2. Man, this ref is inconsistent.
A little bit. Ian's
still working.
I thought he was going to get a cradle.
He's still got that cradle locked up. He needs to jump across sides, and Schumacher's going to break that hold, break the cradle. Now Ian's going to keep working though. He's working that crossface, got that crossface tight on the right side. And he's working a pick and step here. He gets that pick and he steps it up through. He's got that crossface up tight. Stockton does a good job breaking the crossface. Ian comes back and gets the crossface again. Now he's getting some back points. If Ian can finish on top, he can work for a fall here, but he's definitely got 4 back points as they're working off the mat. But this year's rules, it does not matter that his shoulders were out of the circle because they had points of contact inbounds, and he works for the fall in 1 minute and 30 seconds. Ian Blake gets the fall over Winston Schumacher of Res Christian. Good job again, Ian. Wrestled an in-control match.
So that puts us at 6-12, huh?
Yes, it does. Yep, puts us back in striking distance again. So we got. Yep, going to be 6-0, and now it's going to be 12. Or excuse me, it's going to be 6-12. Now it's going to be 12-12 because Brush is going to roll out. They must have found a 113-pounder in the lunchroom or something because they're going to roll somebody out there to collect a forfeit.
Okay. Who we got here?
I don't know who that is.
I think it's Fajaro.
I think it's Yahir Fajaro. Yep. So yeah, they didn't find him in the lunchroom because he wrestled last night.
So that makes 12.
Yep, 12-12 heading into the 120-pound match here.
Dustin Hernandez. And who's he got?
He's got Gustafsson. That hard name for me to pronounce here.
Gustafsson.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got Dustin Hernandez and Jasper Gustafsson
Which
at
is-
120 pounds here.
Call him Gus.
Yeah, call him Gus.
Okay. It's getting late. And the beat diggers, I don't know. I call it a golden
Yeah, it's kind of
golden suit or something.
call it. It's like a sublamination pattern on there. As Hernandez does a good job snapping him down, and while we're talking about a singlet there, he snaps him down and is able to get around him for a 3-point takedown. So 3-0 Hernandez over Gustafsson with 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in the first period. Gustafsson then hits a stand-up. Hernandez is following him. They're kind of on the edge of the mat. Hernandez is working to get a return, and Hernandez throws him over the top of himself. He's got to stay away from doing that kind of stuff because that's what gets him caught. Dustin was ranked early on in the polls, but he suffered some losses here that he probably shouldn't take because he takes those chances and exposes himself a lot to he's trying to create, but he exposes himself a little bit. And when you're exposing yourself, you're going to leave yourself open to bad things happen. You're going to get pinned or going to give up late points, and that's kind of what's plagued Dustin so far this year.
They're working right out in the 10-foot circle. Hernandez on top. Put a little elbow in the back of the head.
Yeah, a little pressure on there. Good for Dustin. Make him carry your weight. It's going to wear him out. Now he's kind of working that claw and cross-body spiral, but he's trying to claw on his shoulder. He needs to get that more up in his neck so they can really get that pressure down the claw. Because if you're going to reach across, a lot of kids are going to. We saw it last night with Dardanus when he reached across on Collins. Collins would chicken wing down, wrench down, and wing that arm coming across. So you got to do a better job. Dustin does of not being lazy with that claw ride. But right this second, he's in good shape. There's 3 seconds left in the first period. And Jasper did have his hand up over, had Dustin up high and stood up, but thankfully the period ended, so no points were given up. So 3-0 Dustin Hernandez. Gustafsson defers to Hernandez. Hernandez is going to choose down to start the second period. Gustafsson going to load from the left side. Hernandez hits a switch to the left side, then he hits a little celly roll and moles in and able to hip heist out and create some separation. He's going to get the escapes, and it's going to be 4-0. Gustafsson with the shot. Hernandez sprawls, able to get around, so he's going to get a takedown, so he can escape and a takedown out of that. So it should be, 7-0. With 1 minute 30 left in the second period here. Now they're just kind of both belly down there on the edge of the mat. Hernandez putting some pressure into his hips. Now he's working that leg in. Dustin needs to stay off his hips, but Gustafsson's going to go ahead and put him on his hip. Hernandez finishes back on top. Now he's giving him a little business in the back of the neck there. I think he's getting a little frustrated that he's not been able to work some pinning combination. Gustafsson's kind of balled up there in the middle of the mat. Hernandez got a wrist and a half now. He's out there running it. Oh, if he keeps running, and he does. He resituates the half, and he puts Gustafsson on his back right for the pin. That was a quick pin. Good job by Dustin Hernandez. That is 3 minutes and 6 seconds into the match. Dustin Hernandez gets the fall for Brush over Jasper Gustafsson from Res Christian.
26-pound weight class.
And that's going to put Brush up 18-12 in the match now.
Okay. Jonathan Potts.
All right, we got Jonathan Potts and Grayson Browning. Now, Max Lozano, you said he was a placer from last year, I believe, for Res Christian. And he is on the lineup card, but he must be hurt because he's not wrestling tonight.
Oh, who we got?
We got Grayson Browning and Jonathan Potts.
Okay, Grayson.
And Jonathan had a good match last time. Oh, but Grayson's in on a low single right away. Jonathan was just kind of heavy with his feet there, stepped right into a low single. And Grayson's long. I forgot he's a leg rider, so he's a really long leg rider, and he's got Jonathan got one leg in. He's got Jonathan stretched out, and he's got him in trouble now. He's got that half through. Jonathan's in big trouble here. Got a leg in. Got at least 3 back points. I can't see if they got 4. Oh, he's got 2 back points, excuse me, so only a 2 count. But he still got that leg in. So it's going to be 5-0 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the first period. Now he leg whips him over and he scoops that head. A couple swipes, but they're going to say he went back and forth, so no back points given up by Jonathan Potts on that little series there. But Grayson Browning still has that leg in. Now he throws another leg in. He's a little high if Jonathan could tripod up, but he's not going to be able to do that. And Grayson's going to get that crossbody right. Now he's got that banana splits. Recent cross for banana splits. Now he's going to get the fall. Grayson Browning with the banana splits fall over Jonathan Potts. 1 minute and 9 seconds into the first period.
Okay, now we're up 18-8, huh?
No, it's tied up 18-18.
Yeah.
So tied up, duels tied up. Brush 18, Reds Christian 18. Heading into the 132-pound match here.
Winner for your Beatnickers, Jonathan Potts. Up next, 132-pound weight class from Resurrection, Bodie Ward. And for your Beatnickers, Elias Barraza.
All right, so now we're going to have Bodie Ward against Elias Barraza, who's, again, your number 9 ranked wrestler. We got some little extracurricular activity. One of the Reds coaches is talking to the ref about the last match, and I'm not sure what he could be talking about because they won by fall, so yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
Is that even a coach?
You know? Is he going to go back and sit on the bench? Yeah, he's going to go back and sit on the bench. Must be a coach.
Looks like it.
All right, so we got.
I've seen him wandering around other places.
Gotcha. Yeah, so now we got Barraza and Ward here, and Barraza wrestled a really good match last time as well. Stayed in control, pick up the fall. So I'm hoping for big things here with him as well. Put us back up in the lead. And Barraza, your Ward kind of gets a half shot in. Barraza sprawls, able to get around him for the takedown. Now Ward sits out. Barraza sucks him back. He's got 1 count. He's got him exposed. Still another 1. Now he's got that. Got a monster. I think it's what we call a monster on him. Now he's got a headlock on him. He's going to sit through, but he is getting back points regardless of what that's called. Now it's definitely into a headlock. And Ward does a good job rolling through, but Barraza keeps that bundle of arms, and he's got that cross-facing bundle of arms. Ward rolls through again. Barraza's going to pick up 4 back points, though. So it's going to be 7-0, a minute left to go in the first period. Barraza over Ward.
Barraza's really going after him.
Yeah, he's looked good the last couple matches. Barraza throws in a leg, and Ward kind of sits in a crab position. Barraza's trying to cross-face, and he wants to get his hips scooted out. Now he's working a power half. He's going to get some points on this power half. I saw a 2 count. Now we're working for more. Now he's going to climb on top. He's going to try to finish on top so he can work for the fall, but Bodie does a good job of fighting out of that. Now he's got that half in again. He should have got some points. That is not the same move. That is not the same move. That should be points and then more back points here. Regardless, Barraza's got him in big trouble. He's got him in a Saturday Night Ride. He's got him stretched out. Got him stretched out, and Barraza's going to win by fall in 1 minute and 46 seconds. So that's going to put Brush up 24-18, I believe.
Okay, sounds good.
138-pound weight class from Resurrection, Cade Slinker. And for your Beatnickers, Elazar Acosta.
Okay, and we got a little bit of a mismatch here again as you got Cade Slinker from Res Christian ranked 7th in the state. And we got Alzar Acosta bumping up to fill in for the sick Axton Haswell.
He's giving up quite a bit of weight there.
Yeah,
138.
definitely giving up some weight. You can see it again. Alzar had a tough one last time against Ethan Deal as well. We'll see if he can stay away. You know, Ethan Deal just kind of horsed Alzar last time, and Cade's not that kind of wrestler. He's a little bit more of a finesse wrestler, which right there he had a Russian tie, worked into a trip, and takes Alzar down for the 3-point takedown. So it's going to be 3-0. Cade Slinker of Rez over Alzar Acosta. Now, for some reason, he calls Cade Slinker for a stall warning. I'm not entirely sure. He must have had a leg locked in there and trapped or something. Alzar hits a nice little sit out, but Slinker follows him. Acosta was almost out on that sit out. Slinker was able to follow him around and gain back control again. So it's still going to be 3-0. A minute 10 left in the first period. Cade Slinker over Alzar Acosta. Yeah, Slinker's trying to pop that arm out on the left side of Acosta. Acosta's doing a good job of fending that off. There's a lot of pressure that on that left side. Cade's a real long, lanky wrestler. Trying to work, I think, a pick and step right there, but Alzar sits out and he sat right into where Slinker was sitting. Now Slinker sucks him back and he's going to get some back points here on Acosta. At least 2. Now the ref's going to start counting again. And now he's going to go right into a cradle. He's going to try suicide in this cradle, and he gets that suicide over the top. He pulls Acosta over the top of him. Acosta's still fighting that off. His arm's caught underneath him, so he's not able to roll him back for those back points yet, but he is in a world of trouble if that arm comes out. Still got that cradle on, but his left arm is trapped underneath him, which is not allowing him to get more than a 45 right now. So fortunate for Alzar there. Bad that he's put in the cradle, but fortunate that his arm was trapped in there, so he's only going to give up. Oh, they did count. God bless it, that guy does not count off points. You cannot tell when he's counting and when he's not. So they did count that. So it's going to be 7-0, Cade Slinker over Alzar Acosta heading into the second period here. I cannot tell when he's counting and when he's not.
Alzar working from the top. He's got a lot of extra weight.
Yeah, he's given up. I would bet Alzar's probably 126-pounder wrestling 138s here. Slinker's able to get away, so we're in neutral position. Slinker's up 8-0. Minute 30 left in the second period. Alzar goes for a little throw. Slinker defends that headlock off. Now Slinker's got the Russian tie there on the left side of Acosta, bumps it up, hits an outside single. If he can limp arm out of that, which he does, he's going to get the 3 points for a takedown for Cade Slinker. Now he's going into another suicide cradle. And the ref is definitely counting off. I can see his hand this time.
Yeah.
So he's going to get a takedown, plus he's going to get back points if he doesn't get the fall here. And that is tight crossface cradle right there. But his arm is trapped underneath. Again, Alzar Acosta's arm's trapped underneath. But I think this might be a tech fall. It's going to be, it should be a tech fall. It's going to be 15-0. Cade Slinker over Alzar Acosta. Tech fall in the second period.
He earned it, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good job by Alzar.
144-pound weight class from Resurrection.
Okay, how many numbers is that one now?
Well, I'm not entirely sure that the score's right because they got 31-17, and I don't think that's right. They've won three matches one by forfeit, one by fall, so that's 12. Another by fall on Jonathan Potts, and then that one was a 5-pointer, so that's 18. And 5 is it should be 23-31, I believe, or 23-30. I think our score is a little bit off.
Okay.
Is that what you got?
I looked away.
Let's see. So coming back down through here, so Isaiah Johnson won by forfeit. Sam Stockton won by fall, so that's 12. Ian Blake won by fall, so that's 6-12. We picked up a forfeit at 112, so that's 12-12. At 120, we picked up another fall, so that's 18-12. At 126, we lost by fall, so that's 18-18. Yeah, I think it should be 20.
Nick Dardanus gets takedown.
Yep, again, returning state champ Nick Dardanus. Works for a takedown. I didn't see what he hit there for the takedown, but nonetheless, he got a takedown. Now he's working that claw ride. Now crossface. He's got a crossface cradle there on the edge of the mat. If he can roll him back in, he needs to pull him back in if he can. He's working to pull him back in. His 2 feet are still in bounds. And he's going to keep his feet in bounds and still get the cradle. And he's getting points, kind of tiptoeing his way in with his feet in bounds. And good job by Nick Dardanus getting 4 back points on the edge of the mat with his tiptoe in bounds, hitting a crossface cradle. Well done.
Already 13-2.
Guess so. 13-2. He must have missed more than we thought.
I don't know. I looked away from the scoreboard too.
13-2. Nick Dardan is over the top of
Somebody.
Carter Gillespie. And Gillespie is ranked 8th by On the Mat. Dardan is working a near side cradle. He's got it locked up. Short time there for Nick. Is he going to hang on here? Is he going to try for some more points here? I think he's going to be okay with heading into the third period. He had the cradle locked up, but it just wasn't comfortable enough. I don't think he was comfortable with hitting the suicide from there. So good job by Nick. Heads up wrestling. Nick's gonna defer to Gillespie. Gillespie can choose both up. I don't know about that choice, but I wouldn't be under Nick either. So now Nick's gonna snap him down.
You were bigger though.
Nick's gonna snap him down. Now he's gonna work that near side cradle again. Now he's working that bow and arrow, and he kind of rolls through. He had the cradle locked up, but Gillespie was able to roll through it and kick out. So we're gonna go back neutral, no points. Now Nick in on a double leg straight to his butt. Gets the 3 points on Gillespie. Now it's going to be 16-2. So if Nick lets him up here, he needs to take him down right to a fall, or we need a fall right here from Nick, because next points is going to be either tech or he's going to pin him. Now Nick working a crossface, crossface cradle. Crossface cradle, and that is tight. Got the knee in the side, head in the temple, squeezing, and gets the fall. Gets the fall with 2 minutes and 55 seconds into the match. Nick Dardan is over Carter Gillespie again. Number 1, number 8 matchup there.
Wow. Okay. Moving right along there.
Class from Resurrection Christian Joe Lockheed. And for your ring diggers, Percy Odell.
Percy should be. He's ready for a good
Yeah,
match
he needs to have a
here.
good match here, but he's got another good kid here, that Joe Locke. Joe Lockhe's ranked 10th in the state. I don't know what he did last year, but ranked 10th in the state, and he Milkoviches him through. That's that move I was talking about where he's chasing the ankle, and he just kind of shucks him right back through, uses Percy's own momentum to spin him through for the 3-point takedown. So a minute 30 left in the first period. Percy Odell is down 3-0 to Joe Lockhe. Lockhe's really working over Percy's arms. Now Percy's in a little bit of trouble because he gives up an arm on top of his back, gets the arm back, and Lockhe's doing a good job of rolling those wrists under. He's trying to block that thing out so he can put it on Percy's back, but Percy's doing a good job of keeping his wrist rolled out. And Lockhe's working a 2-on-1 from Percy's left side here. A lot of pressure on Percy. Now Locke gets an armbar pulled up, and now he's got the half on Percy. He's going to roll over the armbar over the top of the half, and that's going to be tight, and Percy's going to be giving up back points, but good job by Percy rolling through that. And Percy rolls through that, gives up 3 back points. It's going to be 6-0 with 40 seconds left in the first period here. Percy kind of knee slides up. Locke's able to claw ride him back down, back flat again. And again, he's working over that left side shoulder and gets that arm bar on that left side again, trying to work for the far wrist on the right side. And he's got that arm bar in there deep. He's got that arm bar in there deep. Now he's trying to work it towards his head. Percy does a good job coming up to his knees to defend that. That's exactly what you got to do. But Locke does a good job keeping it. A lot of pressure in. Now he's working that shoulder right over the top of Percy's head. Does not give up any back points. Had a 1 count, did Percy, but not 2. So still going to be 6-0 at the end of the first period. Percy Odell's down to Joe Lockhe, 6-0. Okay, Percy's going to defer to Locke, and Lockhe's going to choose down here. Start the second period. Percy's down 6-0. Needs something from Percy. Loaded from the left side. Locke kind of sits there. Percy elevates that near ankle. Percy's still following him from that left side. Got a spiral in nice and tight. Switches off to a tight waist. Percy's trying to work that head and the shoulder and grab the ankle, but Locke's able to stand up out of that, push back pressure, and gain separation. So it's going to be 7-0. Minute 30, and Locke's on deep on an outside single. Percy's in trouble here. He's going to give up the takedown. Yep, puts his hands down, and Locke gets another takedown, so it's going to be 10-0 Joe Lockie over Percy Odle. Percy Odle hits a little sit out, and Lockie's able to pressure forward and put Percy flat on the mat again here. Not a lot of action right this second. Locke's trying to roll those wrists under. He's trying to work over that left side shoulder again, and he gets that left side shoulder again. Got that arm pushed all the way across his back. Trying to work for that underhook on the left side, but he's still got that arm trapped in there. Now he's working that bar on the left side. Man, he is good at working arms. Now he's got that chicken wing again. He runs it up over Percy's head. He's got that far arm blocked, and Percy's in trouble and giving up back points, and Percy's about to be in a lot of trouble if he gets that other arm sat through. So we got 30 seconds left in the second period, and Percy Odle is in trouble right now. Percy is able to work his arm out though, and he's hits that stand-up, so he gives up 4 points, but worked his arm out into a stand-up, but Locke's able to break him down again. Man, that kid is just relentless all over Odle right now. It's going to be 13-0, 10 seconds left in the second period. Joe Lockie up over Percy Odle. And that's where we're...
Beep, beep. Huh?
And that's where we're going to end, but the scores table is going to bring the ref back over here.
She's counting off the points.
Yeah, she thinks there might have been a reversal in there, but I didn't see a reversal. Yeah, they're still having a discussion to see how they're going to score this thing out. I think the score's right. So I think it's 14-0 Joe Lockie over Percy Odle heading into the third period here.
That's what we got up there.
Yep. Percy's going to take both up, and he's going to take his chances here. If Lockie gets a takedown, it's all over. Percy's getting aggressive, getting a little movement, and Lockie's going to bop his head a few times in on a shot, in on kind of a fireman. Now he's trying for that fireman tilt right there. Got that arm tight. Percy doing a pretty good job. Now Percy tries a little throw as they go out of bounds. So good job by Percy showing a little fire here in the third period. Again, 14-0, minute 40 left in the third period. Percy Odle has some work to do here.
I thought that tap in the forehead wasn't supposed to be going on like that.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. Is that one of the emphasis rules this year?
Last year.
Last year? Yeah. And Locke snaps Percy Odle under him. Percy hits kind of a reverse sit out, kind of a Japanese situ is what we call that.
Okay.
But Locke's able to roll through that, and Percy's in trouble here, giving up a takedown. Percy's on his knees here. Locke's in dominant position, chasing an ankle, has a crossface. If he gets a takedown here again, it's a tech fall. So Percy needs to hold on here if he can, try to at least not give up another point for a tech. So he's doing a good job of defending whatever it is. I think he's working for a stalemate, and neither one of them are gaining position. That should be a stalemate about 10 freaking seconds ago.
Well, maybe Percy's still got time.
Percy still got a little time, wasting time. That's nothing but benefit for Percy here. So Lockie's not going to be able to get a takedown. Lockie finally drives him off the mat here. 31 seconds left to go. Percy needs to stay out of getting taken down here. It's 14-0. Percy's down, but can still help the team out by not giving up a tech ball here. Percy's going to fake a shot. Now he's in on a shot. He's got that fireman. He's trying to tilt him, but he gives up the arm. Percy needs to keep that arm nice and tight. You don't really get in trouble there. Now he gets that arm again. 15 seconds left to go in the match. Lockie's trying for a front headlock, and he's chasing that ankle. Percy, now he tries that Milkovich. Percy's ready for it. He's trying to spin around. There's 6 seconds left to go in the match. Percy's finally kind of got that leg. Locke puts him down on the hip, and we're going to run out of time. Good job by Percy Odle, not giving up that takedown in the third period to give up the tech fall. So he does give up a major, but not the tech fall. That could be big on the team scores.
Up to the next match at 157-pound weight class from Resurrection, Josh Stockton.
I still don't think the scores have the score right, but for the team scores, but it's showing Brush up 36-21, which I do not think is right, but it's close. Brush is up in the duel. I just don't think it's exactly what they show there.
Yeah.
All right, so at 157s we have Josh Stockton, who obviously is a little brother of Sam Stockton, and who is ranked number 13 at 165 as a freshman. He's up against Landon Poss. And again, the refs at the table looking, not sure what they're looking for there. Okay, well, rest back to the center of the mat, shake hands, and we're underway. Josh Stockton ranked 13 at 165, wrestling 157 today against Landon Poss from Brush. Stockton in on a double leg, but they head out of bounds. Again, a lot of chatter from the ref to the coaches. I'm not sure what that's about. Stockton in on another nice double leg, has Poss elevated and gets him down to the ground for a three-point takedown. Stockton's got his head in his armpit, working that bar out there, trying to get that arm straightened out on the left side. Now he's given up. Poss has given up a bar again, but if we know something about Poss, he's a little bit double jointed on those shoulders, and Stockton's finding that out right now because he's trying to walk that over the top, and Poss is able to pop that arm out again and not give up any back points there. But Stockton stays in control, stays behind. We're at 3-0 Stockton over Landon Poss with a minute left to go in the first period as they kind of head out of bounds here. Stockton keeps Poss in bounds though. Breaks him back down to the mat. Got 53 seconds left to go. Again,
Stockton gonna
yeah,
get some more points here.
yeah, he's looking for that chicken wing again, but Poss is again double jointed, but he is going to give up some back points here. Got 30 seconds left to go in the first period, and Poss is in big trouble here. But gosh darn, his arms are just really flexible. He's able to pop out of that. Does give up 4-point near fall, so it's going to be 7-0 with 13 seconds left to go in the first period, but does not give up the fall, which I thought he was in trouble of. Got 5 seconds left to go in the first period here. And again, Stockton is working that arm over on the left side. Man, Poss has got to figure out a way not to give up those arms, because whether or not he's double jointed or not, he is going to need some ice on those suckers tonight.
Oh, man. That hurts from up here, right?
Yeah, that hurts me. All right, Stockton's going to take down up 7-0 over Brush's Landon Poss heading into the second period.
Uh-oh.
Did we get a caution
more
there?
blood somewhere.
Got some blood? I didn't see who's bleeding.
Stockton.
Oh, no, we got...
The referee was pointing at somebody, his nose.
We got Stockton with a bloody nose, and I think Landon Poss's head might be bleeding again, so I think they're going to wipe him up as well.
Yeah, we did that on the last one.
Johnson won? Yeah. I did not see that. Oh.
We're getting a little information.
Yeah, we're getting information from Vicki Quinlan here. I did not see that. So Jonathan Potts got a defensive fall on the edge of the mat, and that's what the coaches from Res Christian were arguing there, because Jonathan Potts got he was in a banana splits. I had thought that the match was won by who was that? Grayson Browning or Jasper Gustafsson? I think it's Grayson Browning. Gave up a defensive pin. So Jonathan ended up winning that match, not losing. That's the score discrepancy that I was seeing there.
Oh,
I did not see that they raised Jonathan's hand. I just assumed that Jonathan had lost by fall. So thank you to Vicki Quinlan for coming and helping us out.
Okay.
So the score is right.
Okay, we're underway.
Back underway in the
Poss
second
is
period. Poss
in-
locked his hands. But luckily they roll out of bounds, and he's just going to give up the one for locking hands, and Stockton's not going to get another point there. He's very fortunate because he was about to get out of bounds there. All right. Poss loads from the left side. Stockton hits a sit out and mulls into him. Now he hits a switch. It's got Poss in big trouble. Poss is trying for a headlock, and Stockton slips out of that headlock, gets a 2 reversal. Now Poss stands up. Stockton trying to return him down. Poss fighting the hands. Now he turns around and sprawls. Stockton still in control underneath of Poss. Poss is working. He needs to work a crossface if he can. His head keeps popping out, so he needs to work a crossface, but he's trying to work underneath those arms for a cow catcher. I'd rather see him crossface or stuff the head and get back around. There he goes. Now he's crossfacing him, got that near ankle, but he needs to sprawl at the same time here. So he's going to keep sprawling. Now he's got Stockton flat. Stockton comes back up to his knees. Still Stockton has control, so there's no points for Poss for reversal, for escape. And now Poss has got to do a good job of keeping motion here because the refs, he's in danger of getting a stalemate called on him here, and that's just not what he needs after working that hard.
Stockton just holding hands almost. His own. They go out of bounds. Referee missed another one.
Did he? I was getting some text messages from our friend Mr. Holdren here.
Uh-oh. Is he?
I don't know if he's here or not. He must be listening. He's like, I didn't catch the defensive fall because he was trying to help me out with the score, texting me, but if I wasn't announcing it right, he wouldn't have known either.
Well, we got to drag him down here so he can help out.
Absolutely. Jason, you need to get your butt
We
down
need
here.
him. Yeah, tell him that. Okay, now we got some more blood times.
Okay, who's bleeding here? Poss bleeding here? Is
Probably
Stockton
both of
bleeding
them,
here?
it
Yep.
looks like.
Yep. Well, no, looks like Poss. They're working on Poss right now. I think he cut his head in that first match and just kind of bleeding. So again, we got Marla. Marla's one of the best in the business here, working on him. She does a great job at her place. They're in Fort Morgan. She owns a practice, doing a good job keeping athletes on the field. I know, she worked on my daughter all softball season long for 4 years, just keeping
really?
her healthy. Yep. So it does a good job with the athletes.
Okay, we're almost ready to get underway again. So it's saying up there now, what, 35, 30,
I can't tell what that is. I think it's
36.
36-21.
21.
Yeah, 36-21. It's a little pixelated.
Okay, Poss is.
Yeah,
God, he's trying to look for a cradle.
we're going to start the third period. Poss down 10-0 to Stockton of Res Christian. Stockton kind of hanging his head on the mat here. If Poss can capitalize, Stockton's getting a little lazy, but Poss kind of keeps his hand over the top of his head. Now Stockton's got his arm over the top of his head, and Poss is in trouble getting a little high here. He needs to get that arm back and try to get back in control. He's still on top. Oh, now he kind of flops around and loses this scramble, and he is in big trouble. He's going to give up a reversal, and he's going to give up back points here, and if he's not careful, he is going to give up a pin. Stockton works into a half, and that is a tight half. And he's still got the half. Now he grabs that far arm, and he's sucking underneath. That is tight. And Poss is double jointed, but, man, I just don't know. Stockton working for the fall, and he's going to get the fall in the third period. So 5:05 into the match. Landon Poss loses by fall to Josh Stockton. Again, he is ranked at 13th at 165.
Okay, Austin Lay next.
Austin Lay versus Tristan Welch. Okay, so that brings the score to 36-27 brush over rest. So need to get some separation points here from Austin, and he's been clutch lately. Last night he got the pin for the tie, and then in the duel against Eaton got another pin for the tie, and then Richie Bruno was able to get a pin for the win for the dual win over Eaton. So nobody better in this situation than these next couple guys coming up for Brush.
Austin's hooked it up pretty good. His opponent's pretty stout too.
Yeah, Welch is doing a good job. So Austin shot kind of a lazy double leg. Now he shoots a low single and puts Welch right on his butt, right on the edge of the mat. That's going to be 2. He's going to elevate those legs, and that's going to be 2 right on the edge. Austin's going to crawl up and work up, still in bounce. So he's going to be up 3-0 with a minute left in the first period as they go out of bounds. So minute 4 left in the first period. Austin Lay up 3-0 over Tristan Welch from Res Christian. As we come back to center, getting ready for the restart here. Austin's going to load him from the left side. Austin with the chop and the knee in the butt, breaks him right down, breaks him flat. Now he's kind of working a 2-on-1. A lot of pressure forward. He sneaks in that right leg on the right side. Trying to get Welch stretched out here. Welch is trying for wrist control. Now Austin gets his hand free. Welch kind of sits up though into a crab ride. Austin sucks back his left arm. Now he's got a cross face and he's working for that scoop. Welch does a good job bellying down. Austin's just so dang strong, man. He does a good job working the shoulders. Now he's got a bar on the right side, and he's got Welch in big trouble as he's going to walk it over. He's definitely going to get some points here, and if he can settle back, he's going to get that fall. So he's going to settle back. He's going to reverse that half. Welch is giving the business. He's got that forearm in Austin's nose there. Does not matter. Gets the pin. Austin Lay gets the pin. Minute and 47 seconds into the first period.
Okay.
So that is going to put Brush up. I believe it's going to be 42-27.
Up next, 175-pound weight class from Resurrection Christian.
Yep, 42-27.
Okay, we're getting close to the end here. There's Richie. Rank number 1.
Richie, ring number 2.
Helped them. When that happened?
Well, they got that Isaac Chavez from Moline. He's a 2-time returning state champ at that weight right now. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Always like those 5A teams that are down at 3A.
Yep. Yeah.
Still haven't had anybody tell me why.
I can't figure it out either, and I'm not sure what we got going on here. Rez's coach is going to forfeit Decker Nicholson at 175. They're going to forfeit, and they're going to try to wrestle Christian Astorga. Going to try to wrestle Christian Astorga with Decker Nicholson maybe, and Decker Nicholson is actually ranked. Well, I'm not entirely sure because Decker Nicholson's ranked
190.
8th at 175, and then we got Ethan Carter is ranked 11th at 190. So we'll see who Rez rolls out there. I'm not sure who this one is because Decker Nicholson definitely wrestled in the Eaton match there. All right, now we got something going on at the scores table again here. In other news,
It says 42, 20-something up there.
27, I believe. We got a heck of a game in the national semifinals. We got Ohio State 14 and Texas 14. It looks like Ohio State is at the 2-yard line coming in to score. About 7 minutes left to go in that game.
Oh, wow. You just got everything going.
Well, I like football too.
Oh, okay. What's your wife saving home?
What's
you got
that?
2 or 3
Yeah,
TVs
yeah.
going?
We got TVs all in my man cave in the basement. We got a TV in the bar. Got a TV in the movie room. We got TVs all over the place. She finally did talk me out of though. We used to have big screen TV in our bedroom, and she didn't like that because she didn't think there'd need to be a big screen in the bedroom. So I finally settled and caved in, and now we only got a 27-inch TV in our bedroom. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, we got it. I don't know. I guess they decided to do what they're going to do.
Yeah, again, I cannot tell who Res Christian rolled out there. I'm assuming it's Ethan Carter. And if it is Ethan Carter, he's ranked 11th at 190s. I don't know why they would bump Decker Nicholson up to 190 to wrestle Astorga. But Astorga, we're underway, and Astorga immediately with the Russian tie, dominant position here. But the Res kids doing a pretty good job of keeping it away, and they go out of bounds. So minute 45 left to go in the first period. 0-0 Astorga, and not sure from Res Christian.
Okay, not sure. Yeah, he looks a little skinnier.
He does look a little small. Astorga again, he likes those underhooks. He's working that underhook on the left side because what he wants to do is, wants to get a snap down. And he does snap him down into a front headlock. Astorga's putting a lot of pressure on that front headlock. He's going to want to chase that ankle if he can. And if he can't get it, he's going to want to Milkovich him through here. But the res guy does a pretty good job of backing away from that. And we come back to center, back to neutral. And again, Astorga's going to get that Russian tie. Now he's working that Russian tie. Dominant position. I think the res kid is going to get called for stalling if they go out of bounds here, because this is the second or third time that Astorga's shot him off into the
Nice tackle.
Yeah, great job by Astorga using that Russian tie, blocking that far arm right into the double leg, right into a 3-point takedown. So it's going to be 3-0 Christian Astorga with 45 seconds left to go in the first period. Astorga's going to let him up there on the edge of the mat, so it's going to be 3-1. About 35 seconds left to go. Astorga again right in on that Russian tie on his opponent's right side, on his right side. Oh, he's going to shuck him through, and again, just what I thought. So Christian pushes him out of bounds with that Russian, and the res kid gets a stalling warning on him. So 3-1, 30 seconds left to go in the first period. Astorga's doing a nice job of establishing dominance on neutral position and in head and hand position with these Russians he's working right now. Now Astorga kind of shoots an outside single. Res kid does a good job blocking it off. Astorga with the reshot and able to get around him for another 3-point takedown. So it's going to be 6-1. Astorga's going to need to hold him down. There's 5 seconds left to go in the first period. Don't want to give up any points here, and he's going to do a good job of doing that. So we're going to head into the second period. Christian Astorga up 6-1 over his Res Christian opponent.
Astorga chopping the arm.
Yeah,
he chopped it.
Yeah,
he didn't just didn't pull on it. He chopped it.
He likes that Russian. He likes those snap downs, and when he goes to snap somebody down, he snaps them down. Oh, Ohio State scores, so it puts them up 21-14.
Oh boy.
All right, Astorga picks bottom. Res Christian kid loads from the left side. They're going to call a caution on Astorga. I thought that the Res kid started early, but they're going to call a caution on Astorga. So again, Res reloads from the left side. Astorga comes up, tripods up. Res Christian trying to bust him flat. Does a good job of cross-facing and grabbing that near ankle, busting him flat. Now he's going to work a leg in on Astorga. Astorga finally catches it. Now he's in a crab ride. He's got that leg out. Christian needs to hip heist over if he can. The Res kid's putting 2 legs in. Astorga's not going to catch both those, but they're not in his legs. They're kind of figure forward around the body. Now he's only got 1 leg in. Astorga's got 1 leg caught, and now he's got him in big trouble. He's got the Res kid on his hip. They're going to head out of bounds. Christian needs to stay in bounds here and swim up if he can, as he has the Res Christian kid in a real bad position here on his hip, but they're going to be out of bounds. Oh, but the Res kid, kind of popped up. Astorga stopped wrestling on the edge of the mat there, allowed his opponent to get repositioned and put the legs back in. Now Astorga's going to roll, and they're going to head out of bounds.
I think he was trying to get that roll the whole way.
Yeah, it looked like it. Yeah, it looked like he was trying to set it up, but he just kind of stopped there for a second, allowed the Res kid to pop up on top and get better position on him. But nonetheless, they head out of bounds, still 6-1. 6-1 for Christian Astorga with a minute left in the second period here. Now we got a caution on the Res kid. That's what he did the first time, I thought, too. I didn't think that Christian false started. So each one of them has a caution now. So Christian just kind of sits on bottom. The Res kid does a good job of kneeing the butt and pressuring forward. Now Christian needs to come up under that, and does. He hits a stand-up, kind of reaches back, and he's got his leg up in the air. The Res Christian kid's kind of hanging off to the side. Christian's got his got his leg up in the air. It's a weird position here. He's trying to tree top it over the top, but he's going to get his arm trapped in there as they fall back down to the mat. And Christian's in a little bit of trouble here because he's got his arm trapped back in there. Now he's got his legs. The Res Christian kid finishes on top with his legs in. He's got his left arm trapped in his legs and his body, and Christian finally wiggles that arm out. So we got 10 seconds left in the second period. Astorga up 6-1. And I'm going to assume this is Ethan Carter from Res. See if I can catch somebody's name. All right, that's where we're going to end the second period.
There's an Ethan Goldfein.
6-1 Astorga, and Ethan Carter is going to choose down. Astorga is going to load him from the right side. Astorga with a lot of pressure forward. And Carter's going to hit a Granby. Astorga does a good job of following that Granby. Carter kind of hit a little half-hearted headlock, and Astorga was able to shuck that by and regain control on top. So Astorga's still up 6-1. Minute 40 left to go in the third period. Carter's gonna tripod up. Christian does a good job chopping that elbow. Now Carter's got Astorga's arm over the top. Now he kind of knee slides out, and he's going to get out for an escape. So it's going to be 6-2. Minute 20 left to go in the third period. We're going to be both up here. Yeah, now Carter kind of snaps him down. Had Astorga in a little bit of trouble there with his head snapped down, but Astorga comes out of that, working the Russian tie. Now they break ties. The Reds kid's really pushing the pace here, and he's again trying to snap that head down. He wants to pop Astorga down underneath him. We got 50 seconds left to go in the third period. Astorga up 6-2. Finally gets that little snap down with the outside with the underhook in, and they head out of bounds, and they're going to head back to center. 48 seconds left to go in the match. 6-2 Astorga, and he's going to have some blood time. It looks like.
I think he's
got a headgear issue.
Headgear's messed up. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's got a chin strap issue here. And I believe this, I just heard somebody say Decker. This is Decker Nicholson. So this is Decker Nicholson, who's ranked 8th at 175. He's wrestling 190 this match. So Astorga hits a little duck under. Nicholson's able to fend that off. 30 seconds left to go in the third period. Astorga in on a double leg, shoots him off, and Nicholson hustles back to center. 28 seconds left to go in the match. 6-2 Astorga over Nicholson. Nicholson's really pushing the pace here. Astorga now, there we go. Astorga gets that Russian tie again. Now he's got a dominant position. Now he's pushing Nicholson off the mat, and he's going to get a stall called against Nicholson. Going to get a stall call against Nicholson and get a point from that because he also did that the first period. So it's going to be 7-2 Astorga over Nicholson with 16 seconds left to go in the match. Yep, Astorga now again with that Russian. He throws that Russian by, and he's riding him down. He's going to get the takedown right on the edge of the mat, get another 3 points. It is going to be 10-2, so he's going to end up with a major at the end of the match. Good job by Christian Astorga getting some bonus points there at the end of the match.
That was a good battle.
That was a good battle.
Okay. Are we about done?
Now we got some extracurricular activity. We got some technical points getting taken off. I think both wrestlers, and now another point taken off the Reds kid. They are making some obscene gestures to each other. That's a tough fought match. It's hard to lose that way, but you got to win and lose like you've been there before. You don't like to see that after a match. I don't know how many points are going to be taken away here, but it's going to be quite a few taken away from both sides.
Really? I missed that.
So the score shows 52-27 is the final, but we'll see how many technical team points get taken away for kind of the extracurricular activities here at the end of the match.
Oh, we didn't need that.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because that was a nice match, and I understand emotions get flying. You know, they kind of kind of started jawing at each other, and then started making some obscene gestures to each other there at the end of the match there. So,
Well, that's a Christian school. What's the deal here?
yeah, that was not very Christian-like their gesture at the end.
Okay, well, it's still 1010 KSIR, Brush Fort Morgan, Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head back to headquarters, and then we'll come back and see if we can find the right numbers. So, okay, we'll head back to the. Okay, welcome back to 1010 KSIR, Brush Fort Morgan, and Eastern Plains Sports Network, and waiting for the coach to make it up here. He's just on the other side, so that'll be pretty shortly. But boy, what a day! For
Yeah.
the last 2 days, we've had some great wrestling.
Another great night of wrestling for Brush Wrestling. The duel started out tonight. I believe Rez beat Eaton 40-29, and then the next duel was Brush and Rez. Brush came out on top of that. The last two matches were pins to put them ahead, 42-37, and then Brush and Eaton, and then the last two matches of the night. The last match of the night was Brush and Rez, and I think that ended up 51-29. But we'll talk to Coach Cox and see what that final score ended up being, because I think there were some technical points taken off. But Coach,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing?
Good. Thanks for
Good.
having me.
Absolutely. So, what did the final score end up being on the Brush Rez? Were there some technical points taken off there at the
There
end?
were three. There were two against Rez, one against us. So I think it ended up 51-25.
51-25?
Yeah.
Okay, 51-25. Okay. So, obviously, we haven't talked to you in a while. Last time we were here was before Christmas. You guys have been kind of all over. I know you guys have been wrestling. I know Dardanus was at the dock, and you guys did some really good stuff out there. Why don't you just kind of briefly walk us through where you guys have been here in the last couple of weeks and what we got going on?
The first couple of weeks, had most of the lineup. We're still missing, 2-3 varsity guys, a big one in Bruno. And then he got cleared for full live that week of the Warrior. And unfortunately, we had a whole bunch of kids sicker than all get out. And we had a scheduling change on finals. And so we ended up having a split trip up to Rifle. We dueled Rifle in Grand Valley with 5 guys.
Oh, wow. Did Lay make that trip?
No, he was pretty sick.
Okay.
The funky stuff came through everybody.
I was just curious if Lay and Valencia had wrestled.
No, we pinned him twice in the state tournament last year.
Gotcha. Okay.
That one is what it is.
Yeah.
Austin's in a different place. He just has to
Yeah.
keep doing what he's
Oh,
doing.
he's wrestling tough.
Yeah,
I was just
absolutely.
curious. Yep. So I'm sorry.
No, he didn't make it. We won 9 out of the 10 matches wrestled in
Gotcha.
those duels. I think we only lost by 6. Just giving up a lot of forfeits, and then I think we would have had 6 or 7. 6 kids wrestling at the Warrior, and Astorga. He got in a really funky position with Rifle's kid, and they both they were almost half Indian style with the knee, and he just kind of tweaked his MCL. And when Coach Malovich was warming him up, we just felt like, hey, there's nothing to win here, to jeopardize trying to let this thing get a little looser. So we pulled him from that tournament. Nick had a great one. Of all things, he had a pigtail to start.
Nick did.
Yeah,
Was he the
yeah.
number 1 seed?
Yeah.
And he still had a pigtail.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
And kind of motored through that whole thing. Got the number 2 ranked kid in the semis, Soto from Pueblo Centennial.
Yeah.
Tough, very tough. A few calls went the way it ended up, and we ended up in overtime. Nick took care of business and got the takedown. So
Absolutely.
we might see him again next week in Florence.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be a good tournament.
These matches, they're just good examples of what we have to work on, and he has. He took that, and I'll tell you what, he was at another level in California.
Doc B, yeah.
He was.
Tell us about that tournament. Nick's the second kid, I think, from Brush to ever place at that tournament. I think Wyatt Fowles the other to place at that tournament, but walk us through there a little bit. I didn't look at the seeds or anything. Did Nick end up getting seeded somewhere?
He was the 7th seed.
He was the 7th seed.
Yeah.
Okay, and so the kids at that weight, just let everybody know. I mean, I'm assuming the top 2 or 3 kids were probably the top 2 or 3 kids in the country, if I had to take a guess.
They're definitely ranked kids in the country.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Tirapelli, that family, it's funny. I don't know all the relationships, brothers or uncles, but the head coach at Buchanan is Tirapelli, and the head coach at Clovis
yeah.
is I think in Illinois, multi-time All-American. He does a great job of the whole group does. But one of the things that I really like what he says is he goes, look, he tells us in those coaches meetings that this tournament's tougher than the California State tournament.
Yeah.
This is
sure.
You get state champions from everywhere.
Yeah. Oregon, Washington, New Mexico, Arizona, everywhere. Colorado, obviously. So
Pennsylvania brought first year there was a Pennsylvania team, and there were
I think there are Texas kids there that are ranked pretty high.
Two or three. On the tip of my tongue, Georgia teams,
wow.
and those kids were ranked up there. It's usually the finals are a lot of D1 commits and certainly kids that the D1 programs are after. And Nick had a heck of a tournament. He Poway is who won the California State tournament. And I want to say that was Nick's first match, and he got a bye, and then he got the Poway kid and beat him, and then I think we had. The next round, he had another win, I think, and then in the quarters we had the second seed, who was a runner-up in California as a freshman.
Wow.
Yeah, tough kid, really good on his feet, and it took Nick, a couple of periods to match the multiple moves.
Yeah, figure out he could actually probably wrestle with him, huh?
Yeah, all we had to do was match it, and once he did, Nick was in. Probably, I don't think anybody got in on him as deep as Nick did. And he got in, lifted him in the air, and we had an opportunity to finish it to the mat, and we ended up coming down on the edge, and the kid got a shin whizzer, so we didn't score. But Coach Caleb and Cody and I were out there and used that as an example and say, hey, you do this every time.
Yeah.
You can go with everybody.
Absolutely.
And so then his next match, I think we had an Oak Park, Illinois kid on the backside, and that on the next day, and that was the blood round that put him into All-American there, the place. And then the 3 seed from Gilroy got upset.
Gilroy's tough.
Yep, they are, and that kid actually beat Austin Collins in the blood round. Otherwise, Nick and Austin would have met.
Oh, wow. I did not know that. Okay.
Yep, and then that kid from Gilroy he ended up third. He beat Nick and put us into 7th and 8th, and 7th and 8th was a great match. Nick was in the driver's seat. We won the takedown. We're up 3-2 going into the third and went bottom, which is usually his briar patch.
Sure,
and the kid caught us in a 2-on-1 tilt, and we lost 3-6. It was just a great opportunity to work on things.
Well, even then, though, I mean, taking the 8th at a tournament like that, I mean, he had to have confidence coming out of that, knowing that, hey, I can wrestle with anybody in the country.
Absolutely. And then I think he parlayed that into last night.
There's no doubt. Oh, man, I botched that call last night.
That's all right. The match got wrestled, and that was it.
No, there's no doubt. I was telling everybody on air how excited I was for maybe the opportunity that match was going to happen. And in my head, I don't know, I couldn't hear with my headphones on who they announced for the match. And I know what Austin Collins looks like. And in my head, I was just reading what the bout sheet was. So I called the match wrong the whole time. And then finally somebody tapped me and said, hey, that was Austin Collins. Like, well, that was the match we were waiting for there. That was a heck of a match last night.
It was. And Coach Brown, he's a class act. He told me before I think when they figured out what we had at, the next weight class, and they did some thinking, and it was a wise move for them, points-wise. I think everybody wanted to see that match, but more importantly for them, it made a difference, pretty good-sized difference in the points. And,
agreed.
I'm glad we got to watch the match. It was a heck of a duel. It was a lot of fun. In fact, Coach Brown texted me last night. He's like, hey, I think you guys won. And I was like, no. I went through, because I used to remember the rules was the most number of pins.
Yeah, criteria, yeah.
We actually got to the 6th criteria. It was F, so it goes A, B, C, D, E, F. And E is, you get pins and forfeits.
Okay.
And so we matched. Even though we won matches, wrestled 7-5, even though we had 5 pins, they had 3. They had the 2 forfeits, so that kicked us to F. And what's crazy about that is, and I get why. I don't know that I agree with it. Aside from winning the duel, it was just the concept, and that is the team with the fewest number of forfeits. And so I get the side of it as well. If people just forfeit, then so I get it. And hey, if we lose a duel that way on criteria, and it's another example when we talked about that afterwards of, every guy, unless you got a pin, every guy on that team had an opportunity to change that duel by 1 point.
Sure, absolutely, yeah.
Whether you got a tech fall, whether you got a major, whether you got major, whether you got tech fall.
Correct.
And certainly if you got pinned, that we shouldn't have lost the 6-pound match. And Ian Blake, he turned it around tonight.
He wrestled better tonight. He wrestled in control
Absolutely.
tonight. Finally, he gets a little wild and he gets a little crazy and just gets in those weird positions. And sometimes when you get those weird positions, bad things happen.
Well, and, kids see these kids doing moves, and they see these leg passes, and
Yeah.
and they want to emulate the college guys and the higher level high school guys, but you boil it down to some common sense and basics, and that is you don't do a leg pass when you're on bottom because you're gonna give up back points.
Right, no.
And so I don't think he'll do that again.
Yeah. Hope not. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Glad we learned it last night. He looked great tonight.
He did look good tonight. Yeah.
And Dustin it looked better in his second match, and then it's nice to get and Potts. That was a big win on the first one.
I did not even know that happened. Honestly, yeah. Or was it the first one or second one where he got the defensive fall?
Both. He did win both. Yeah, the first one was when we just kind of grind him down.
Yeah, no, yeah, he did look good on that match. Yep.
Yeah, that one I didn't. I thought we were getting it, and I wasn't paying attention to the Rez kid, and I think everybody was confused at first, but he Carmelo, the official, he's been around a long time, and he's like, hey, and he talked to the kid, and then when the kid came over, he's like, yeah, I laid flat on my back.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't catch it up here either because I was looking at the score. I was like, that score's not right. And Coach Quinlan actually came over and like, hey, here's what happened. I was like, oh, shoot,
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. So that was.
You don't see
that was
those
good.
every day.
No, you don't see them, and especially he had Jonathan that banana split there, and yeah, it just didn't see that coming. So, talk to me a little bit about your guys' health coming in. I know Levi's fighting some injuries. Anybody else? Is he going to be okay? Is he going to come back?
Yeah, we're working through it. I think he needs a little scope to clean up a partially torn meniscus. We got a cortisone shot and was thinking we'd be able to go through it, but I think it's torn a little more in there. So
Yeah.
right now we're just trying to get something set up.
Yeah, I guess because he's going to need some time to come back.
Yeah, I had 2 of those in college, and I think I was
Yep.
on a bike in less than a week,
Yep.
and wrestling, I think, day 12.
Same. Yep. I had the exact same thing done. So that'll be good if we can get him back. How about Andrew Herrera? Is he?
Yeah, he's got a little bang up from football that him and Astorga were wrestling, and Astorga hit a low single and just kind of caught it. And hoping he is coming back around. Hats off to Caden Bonilla for, I tell you what, you talk about kids that, wrestle when the lights are on.
He's a scrappy little sucker.
He is one.
Yeah.
Stockton's, number 1 kid in the state.
Yeah, tough kid.
Oh, absolutely. And, good for Caden to have the confidence, because we gave him the choice, and he decided he wanted to do it. And,
Good for him.
And he went out there and, fought his butt off.
Yeah. No, he went out there. I mean, it's not like he laid there. He went out there. He tried bear hugging. He tried to throw and just got out horsed a little bit.
Yeah, well, freshman and senior.
Yeah, absolutely, and a good looking senior too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was nice getting Barraza back. He'd been out. He didn't make it to the Warrior. Haswell was sick this week. It'd be nice to plug him back in if we can get some practices in. His little brother Elias Mora covered last night.
Oh, yep.
So, but we're missing. We're still missing 3-4 guys.
Yeah.
Percy just got to work on a few things. I loved his fight right there in the third, and not giving those guys an extra team point.
Is Purse looking to go to 57s then when Levi comes back?
It's hard to say. Without saying a whole lot, I think one of a couple of it depends, on the first part, but we might surprise some people with Nick Dardanis was at 38s last week in Doc B.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he can go wherever he wants, and it'll be interesting to see what they all decide. But I don't see Percy going back up at any point. 57, Landon, he's fighting hard. Fabian's trying to make the grind down there as well, and see who can win that off. And Austin Lay is Austin Lay.
Yeah,
he just gets better. He actually wrestled well at Doc B as well.
I didn't know he wrestled there.
We had 3 kids: Percy, Austin, and Nick. We were going to take 7, but we just with some injuries and sicknesses, so we ended up with a 3. And Austin got the 3 seed from Clovis, and Clovis, it was Clovis, and he was tough. And then we got a Roseburg, Oregon kid and won the first takedown. And, we just make a we were on top, and that kid got turked and worked. And we're like, okay, and he went down on us. I thought, okay, we're in the driver's
Yep.
seat. And we knew he had a Granby, hit a Granby, and we lost the scramble. And then he came out, and Austin did a good job of keeping legs out. And then he just kind of hesitated. The kid got it in there, and he crunched us.
Yeah, I mean,
And then that happened to that kid the next round. So
Yep.
it's just a great example of, you cannot let the door crack. You got to always be aware of, sealing things off. And, I always tell them, it's a quarter inch. It's this little a detail
It is.
that makes, a mile difference.
agreed. No, I agree. And even with the 2 losses at the Doc B, I mean, how was his attitude coming out of that? Was he-
Austin's an A+.
Yeah.
He's, you want, a lineup full of guys like, Nick and Austin and
Yep.
Bruno and a lot of the guys. But Austin, all he's going to do is work hard, and he gets better.
Yep.
And to have him at 65s is, because, he works. He
Yep.
has to work to be there.
yeah, is he cutting a little bit?
And we had a powwow with the 4 of them, because Riley Tuck's a guy we're still crossing our fingers on, and we were talking about where weights were here about a week ago, and Richie where he wanted to be, and Austin said, I'll go 65s, and Astorga
That was
was
good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's going to make it. I mean, it has to happen if you guys are going to have a shot at this thing. No doubt about it. Get those kids spread out, get them back. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Austin Lay he's just a hammer. And we were talking about it last night, and even tonight, you guys were down against Eaton, down last night against Ray, and who's up? Austin
Yeah.
Lay's up, and what do you need from him? You need a pin. Last night to tie it up, tonight to tie it up, and then you have your another state champion, another hammer, and Richie Bruno coming back up and putting that away for Eaton tonight. And talk to me a little about Richie. How's he feeling? How's his shoulder?
he's good. He lost an 8-6 match. I think we were up 6-0 in the first. We were out of Doc B, and so Chad, Coach Romero, kind of filled us in. I haven't watched the video, but Sand Creek, they're I think the 2 ranked team.
They're tough, yeah.
Excuse me, yeah, they've got some really tough kids, and I'd love to have that match again, and tonight, tomorrow, next week.
Sure.
It's just that kid that caught him in the finals, kind of came back, and I think it was a wrestling shape, situation.
And a lot of times those things are eye openers, and especially being a returning state champ. I'm sure one of his goals was to be undefeated this year, but sometimes getting that monkey off your back, and you don't have to worry about being undefeated anymore.
Yeah.
Let's just go out and wrestle, and let's go out and win.
His last match, I want to say, was in April.
Yeah.
At Virginia Beach, and lost 2 tight ones. The 2 kids that placed. I mean, I think he was 2-2. He had a heck of a tournament.
Yeah.
Wrestled through that injury, ends up getting repaired in June. He doesn't have a match, since April until, his first day alive was Thursday before Christmas break.
yeah.
So, that kid had 20 matches under his belt, and that was Richie's
Yep.
4th one. So.
And those things just happen sometimes. So
Yeah, he did good. He did a good job, and he's just going to get tougher.
yeah, no, he's a hammer, and if he stays at 75s, that match between him and Chavez is going to be one to watch.
Yeah, and whether Chavez stays there or goes 65, I'll tell you what, I got all the faith in both our boys. I think
Oh, absolutely.
They're Chavez is a talented
Yep.
wrestler. I think he's battled some injuries. They haven't wrestled a lot of matches, and we'll be ready to go.
No, let the cards lie where they lie. I mean,
Yep.
you take your best versus their best, and being these kids' coach and knowing what they got. And again, I mean, Richie has the pedigree. He knows what it takes to be a state champ, and so I wouldn't be running from it. It's just as a spectator, that'd be a fun match to watch. So
Well, I'm about betting we're going to see one or the other.
yeah, are they going to be there next weekend?
I don't know. We thought they'd be at Littleton.
Oh, yeah.
And then they ended up. They had one kid there, and then I think they ended up at Bennett.
Oh, really?
And I don't know if I've heard they may be at Florence or they may be at Top of the Rockies.
Gotcha.
But that's all right. We just got to do what we need to do. We,
Absolutely.
Stay. I think we saw it tonight too. I think we're in better shape. I think, I like what we've got. We're missing a few pieces. We get them in, and
Yeah. No, I think you guys are sitting in a good position. I know, right this second, Brush is outside the top 10, but I don't think there's anybody, including Tim Yount, that would say that being healthy and all you guys coming back, you guys are a top 5 team, number one, and a team that could certainly make a run come February.
And Tim can keep us out of there.
That's
okay. It's kind of funny. You got 4 guys that are there in the top 3, and the only other team that's that is Mullen with their 4.
Yeah, I was counting ranked wrestlers today, as a matter of fact, and I was like, huh. Brush has 7 or 8 in the top 14, which means they're at the tournament. They have a chance to win some matches. You got Axton and Elias Barraza ranked 8th and 7th, so they're a match away. So Yount's figuring on them going 2-2, 3-2, something of that magnitude. So that's like we always talk. I mean, that's where that thing's going to be won or losses. Those matches on that backside with kids like that. So. Tell us about next week. You got Florence. That's always a great thing. You got Morgan County duels coming up on Wednesday. That's gonna be fun because Kyle Grouse has really got it rolling in Fort Morgan right now. He's got those young kids wrestling pretty well. So kind of give us a little preview of the next week.
Yeah, we'll go to Chatfield tomorrow.
Geez,
there'll be
tomorrow,
some great.
yeah.
Pretty much the lineup you saw tonight. That's who's going to Chatfield. That'll be good.
Good.
The only one we won't is Devin. And my hat's off to
Is he a
Devin.
freshman? Truly,
he is.
He's a big kid.
Middle school state placer. He had to eat and drink a little extra to be able to wrestle 215.
I'm sure he did.
And it's a match. Just some little details. He'll be. He's behind 4 ranked guys right now, or 3 ranked guys.
Yep.
He is going to be in that lineup the next 3 years.
Absolutely.
So
that's a good problem to have for you guys.
We're not going to throw him to the wolves and let him go 215s this weekend or tomorrow rather, but we'll hit Chatfield. They have a funky setup where they seed it, and then I think you're in quads, groups of 4.
Yeah. It's a dual tournament.
No, it's individual, but then they take the winners of those 4. And they're in their own little quad bracket, and then the 2s and the 3s and the 4s.
Oh,
same
interesting.
thing. And
Never seen that.
Yeah, I'm interested to print that out. And it's a the best part is you're going to get somewhere between 4 and 6 matches.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
And then you're right, we get the Morgan County try next week, and we'll plug in another 1 or 2 probably. But even with the lineup we got, I'm excited for it.
It's going to be fun.
Morgan's doing a great job, and we're going to enjoy going up there and wrestling.
No, I agree. It's going to be fun. That'll be our next call. And then after that, you got the Florence tournament. I won't keep you much longer, but talk a little bit about Florence because that's essentially the 3A state tournament. So that you see a lot of people that you don't get to see. Most of the top teams, whether or not Mullen's there or not, but most of the other top teams in 3A will be there, including some teams. I don't know, does Cedar Ridge still come down?
Yeah, they've, we lost Tuck in the, I want to say the quarters, and Cedar Ridge, I think we ended up second to them.
Yeah.
And it was, and I would give it more of the other match. There were kid was winning and he got headlocked and beat. It was Valdez from Centauri.
Yeah.
That popped and I think he got decked and jumped Cedar Edge. But it's a great tournament. Sometimes Gunnison doesn't make it. Every year everybody's got a little bit. And this year it's top of the Rockies and.
Same week. Yeah, it makes it tough.
For us, it's a must. We need to go to Florence.
Well, that's who you're going to wrestle, so you need to see those kids. So
and that's why we go to the Warrior too. Yeah. There's years when we'll go to Florence and we will not wrestle a rifle kid or some of the other kids that we see at the Warrior. So going out there and I'm appreciative of those guys. We got to duel them, the last 2 years and match some kids up and then
absolutely no, it's always good to see it. So, all right, Coach. Well, we'll let you go, and good luck tomorrow. And we'll try to talk to you on Wednesday after a victory against Fort Morgan and Wiggins. I don't know if I'll completely be rooting against Wiggins, but I know you guys are going to take care of business. It's going to be fun. And good luck against Florence. Good luck in Chatfield, and looking forward to the rest of the season.
It'll be a great try next week, and appreciate KSIR and you guys.
Sure.
You and Rob and everything you do. We appreciate you going. It was awesome to have you up there and race. So
that was a lot of fun. All right, buddy.
See you next week.
All right. That's the head coach of Brush Wrestling, Chad Cox. Is in the last 2 days they've tied number 2 Ray in number 1 Ray in 2A, and then tonight they get the wins over the number 4 Eaton Reds and the number 8 Resurrection Christian Cougars. So looking forward to it. Apparently they got the Chatfield tournament tomorrow, and then I think we'll be back for the Morgan County duels on Wednesday in Fort Morgan.
Wow, that's good.
All right.
Yeah, and this is 1010 KSIR, Brush Fort Morgan, Eastern Plains Sports Network, and we've had a great night, and thanks a lot Travis? And,
Absolutely. It's been fun this year. Thank you for asking me again.
Anytime. Okay. So thanks all our sponsors and everything for Rose. She's so sweet to
Yeah,
be
thank you,
there
Rose.
and do this. So we'll say good night and we'll be back next
See you
week.
Wednesday. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rose.